Hello. Hi. Is your mic sensitivity a little like adjusted? Like,
Huh? I think it's alright.
Okay. I think the higher frequencies are cut out a little bit because the hello was cut.
Oh. Yeah.
They could not handle the hello.
It was too much.
It's too much. So it's been a while. Also real life. I should mention that. So, do you remember what happened last time?
You got electrocuted.
All right.
Oh right, there was a new like government party came into power.
Oh, I forgot about that part. I remember it now.
Friends and neighbors, and have confidence that the team will keep you safe.
And now you have to. What's it? Oh right, but there's also another group called Disrupt that seems to be kind of anti this new government thing.
I see.
I think that's basically like the basics. Also, your boss is a little unhappy with you because you didn't play one of the required tapes that one time.
We're still vassals, slaves, we're just in pretty.
Oh right, yeah, I did do that on purpose. Like, thing is, it's surprising how much tolerance he has for you. Like, he has not fired you yet for some reason.
He's pretty upset though, so I think if you do it again, he might fire you.
Oh, okay.
You might want to be a little careful about his patience when it comes to things that are labeled like must be played.
I see.
Well, that's a very blunt question.
Alright, I think volume's alright. Alright, let's continue this. The telethon.
Friends and neighbors,
What was this one again?
confidence that the team will keep you safe.
Campaign.
I see. Yeah, I remember that one bit with the with the gimp in the closet. A sign of things to come.
Shopping, something that always seemed so tedious before the sanctions, has become even more of a chore now. Oh right, yeah, because other nations are putting major sanctions on this one. You managed to get almost everything you need for the family this evening, but you have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, although it's hard to make out why in the dark.
Hopefully, whatever's causing it won't be long.
As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue is actually due at a checkpoint set up near the exit. A friendly-looking man in advanced uniform, CCO emblazoned a number of places on it, approaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window.
You roll it down.
Good evening, nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Weren't these cards supposed to be voluntary?
I'm sorry, I don't have one.
Ah, that's not a problem. We got forms with us right here, and we're more than happy to sign you up. A man gestures to his colleague behind him, a young woman in a similar uniform. She clearly received the short end of the stick and is stuck with the paperwork.
I thought these cards weren't required.
Well, strictly speaking, they're not, but there's also loads of benefits to having them, and no reason not to get one. His smile fades a bit, and when he puts a hand up to scratch the back of his neck for a moment, he leans over you, his presence now seeming a little intimidating.
No thanks, it's not something I want right now.
Almost instantly, the friendly demeanor is gone, and his expression is one of stern disapproval. Well, obviously I can't make you sign up, but I would strongly recommend you do, and soon. We wouldn't want people to think you had anything to hide, would we? He takes a step back and gestures for you to drive on. You're sure you see him writing something down your rearview mirror as you head home somewhat more hurriedly than before.
Clearly, Advance are very keen on everyone joining the team. Day 290. An invitation worth ignoring.
It's a Saturday, one of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits pinned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event, Bozeman is very quick to tell you. Also, don't you dare be late.
You. I feel like he might actually fire you if you do that. Well, you've already skipped work weekend once. You can't do it again. Best go.
Best start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job.
Right. A national news night.
You arrive on time barely at the Sylvanian, one of the oldest and grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in, and quickly realize it's because people are being searched at the door by some very military-looking person on smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice how very opulent the building is, possibly the fanciest place you've been to in your life.
You submit to being patted down and, with a sigh of relief, are let into the hotel.
Once inside, you're directed to a grand ballroom, and following the signs, you marvel at the sheer scale of the place, and the amount of armed security guards. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks for your name.
Actually, no, this is like British, right? This is Britain.
Yeah.
I'm Alex Winston.
She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter beside her. You've made just in time to see you before dinner. Please follow Emmanuel here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens one of the great double doors, gesturing for you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom.
You pause for a second to take it all in. Oh my god, that's just wine. That's just
yeah,
film.
right? Look at all these glasses.
A stray projectile could ruin all of this.
You feel a slight tap on your arm, and Emmanuel gestures at you to follow him. He sees you at a table in the central floor area, with a decent view of the stage. Clearly you're in Bozeman's good books at the moment. You're sat with some colleagues you've seen around the Channel 1 offices before, but don't know that well. One of them informs you, far too excitedly, it's a very corporate evening, awards speeches.
At least the food should be good.
Dinner is indeed lovely, and with the help of the, no doubt very expensive, wine, conversation flows easily enough. In fact, much to your surprise, you're actually presented with an award for Best Newcomer to the Channel 1 family.
Well, this was unexpected. As a hello, Mint.
They really liked your YouTube poops. As you walk up to collect it, you recognize the presenter as Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey of Incisors fame. He thanks Advance for sponsoring this year's gala, but we're specifically thanking Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement for being in attendance tonight. As you take to the stage, you see the frontmost central table does indeed seat the Prime Ministers, as well as Bozeman, Megan, and some other very well-to-do types that you don't recognize. That explains all the security. As you're handed the award, Dr. Atkinson Blimey asks if you'd like to say a few words.
You make a joke thanking Dave for fleeing the country. Let's see. Well, you're a little nervous and splutter out some quick praise for Advance and Channel 1. I need more money.
As you thank Advance, applause breaks out around the room. Both Peter and Julia stand up to magnanimously accept it for saying the night's not about them, but thanks all the same. As you head back to your seat, you see Bozeman nodding at you with a satisfied smile on his flushed face.
Clearly that was the right speech.
Just as you're finishing up dinner, one of the other people at your table points behind you. As you turn, you see Bozeman walking briskly past, with Julius Salisbury and Pierre Clement in tow. You're pretty sure he was pointedly ignoring you. He seems to be introducing the Prime Ministers to a selection of people at different tables.
Better them than you.
You finish off the rest of the meal, listen to the last few speeches, and then head home. All in all, it was a surprisingly nice evening. You might actually look forward to the next one.
Providing Bozeman invites you to that one, of course.
The food at one of those places gotta be really good, so...
Yeah. Also really expensive.
Yeah, all free, because it's paid for by work.
True, as long as I'm not the one paying for it.
Yeah, right?
The heat wave. That's the opposite of what's going on right now, yeah?
Yeah, right? There's literally
well-
snow outside my window.
Well, for you. For me, it's still the same.
Yeah. Oh, right, you should check your...
Huh?
Tapes and stuff. Come to Bumlins.
Oh. What the fuck? I see. God damn it.
Good luck.
You've got someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Oh, is that advanced tape required?
Air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes,
Does
but
it say...
is.
Oh,
Our gun-toting handler.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it would display
I don't
somewhere
know what
else.
the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
More like keep us in line.
Whatever.
I hate guns. More the willies.
10 seconds, everybody.
Oh, yeah, you do have a
So
Sharon
any
Crazy
actual
Meals
real
thing.
news
so-
tonight.
Well, the world's on fire. That good enough for you? Going in 5.
Oh, but is there only 3?
3.
Oh.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight: siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th week.
What's the difference?
I think A is good, B is bad.
Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked escalation.
Ever since these illegal sanctions were imposed, we have gratefully relied upon trade and aid from our worldwide friends who, like us, refuse to recognize their legitimacy. Today's escalation, however, is nothing short of an act of war. We call upon our international allies to condemn this blockade absolutely, and we warn aggressors to this country that we are neither meek nor defenseless. Thank you.
Ailing business. Wannabe beer magnate Johnny Handsleeves seems to have fallen on hard times as his brewery venture folds. It seems Johnny wasn't cut out for the brewing business, as poor sales forced him to close his doors. And if this exclusive image is anything
Uncensored
to go by,
media.
he hasn't been handling it well. Pictured here on day 4 of his nationwide tour, where he's vowing to...
God, this is really apt for where I live.
...man is making his way from pub to pub, thumping anyone who dares call his brew too hoppy. In it to win it. Exciting news from Advance today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month,
Ah, nah, fuck team
lucky
membership,
winners from
dude. They
across the country
tried to-
will be picked at random to receive
They tried to coerce me.
few
I don't appreciate
additional
that.
Unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if its lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have
Okay,
one.
I'm a big fan.
Please, please.
Future in doubt. After the public's lukewarm response to the industrial plant, the troubling report that found a possible long-term risk to shop floor workers could be the final nail in the coffin. CEO Sophia Remington, however, was optimistic that her employees would remain loyal. But perhaps she spoke too soon. As these photos clearly show, workers are taking the warnings very seriously, and some have even abandoned their posts to seek medical advice. It seems like my mother was wrong. A flower a day won't keep the doctor away. Restraint in the taint. Pictures of emerged
Or, excuse me?
taint, purporting to show the fighting physicists' reaction to the axing of plans to send supplies. The group, who lost public support after devolving into all-out war, were told they would not receive any more help from above ground. But this exclusive picture shows the scientists' current state of mind. Mired in problems since the start,
Yo, it's Lamonvi Corp.
complete and total abandonment seems to be the last straw for the savage scholars. Something tells me they're not discussing particle physics. Life during
Also,
wartime,
Mint says Bumlins
as if we
is their
don't have
personal
enough
favorite.
crisis on our borders. Internal
You know what?
problems are growing
Yeah.
for the government
I'm
as radical
okay with
activist group Disrupt caused chaos in Parliament Park last night. Scuffles broke out after the protests, resulting in multiple arrests and the injury of 3 community cohesion officers. Advance have yet to comment. As grassroots support for the movement grows rapidly, especially in those areas Advance have not yet been able to fully regenerate, people across the country are starting to fear a return to the bad old days of inequality, division, and multiple television shows about buying houses. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh boy, you ready to do this?
I forgot how to do it exactly, but I'll feel my way around. Fuck! Fuck!
Oh my god, the power switch!
Please. Please! Okay.
But first tonight, our team of correspondents
You're on the
has
wrong
been
screen.
dispatched to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns of the University of Princeford. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful. My eyelids are sweating.
And you're part of a team carrying out a study into just what
God, there it is.
unbelievable.
It's a lot easier
Is
if
that
you use the
Yes,
mouse
that's
wheel
correct.
for
Yes,
it,
we want
but
to be able
Yeah,
to
that's what I'm
reassure the
doing.
public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about.
What's another way to
Their sunstroke
keep
and
that
muscle
synced?
fuel.
yeah, if you press in, if you like hold
Oh,
the
very much so. I can say
scroll
without any
wheel
hesitation,
and then
there's
like move
really
your
no
mouse
need for any
either to the
research.
side or up, you can also
I've
adjust the
actually
other
left my
thing.
car running.
I see.
Tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech read results.
That sounds very fancy.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington's Fist. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I
What
just
do you
say,
mean?
complimentary
There you
personal
go.
anecdote. Oh, here we go. And, as expected, everything is absolutely fucked. Hang on. This can't
Oh,
be.
okay.
Right, but obviously you said a second ago that everything is absolutely fine, so...
Please. There's 5 things going on at once.
Level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
Yeah? We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
You look thirsty.
Here it just says, shit.
Look at you! This is meant to be a celebration! Can't go around looking like that!
Shit,
There you go,
shit,
much
shit.
better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this?
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is
It's
running
running out, absolutely right.
But-
That is
but
all
hey.
we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof be need be. That everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolf, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolf there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with...
I wonder if there's a way to bind the number keys to other things. Because I kind of mentioned the fact that they're laid out in 2x2s as a stop, as opposed to like a 1x4. God damn it!
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Okay, I got. Hey.
All that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so
There you go, you
convenient.
got it.
But we're all dying to know. What
Hey,
have you
stop
won?
that.
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely terrific. You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult floater, probably one of the sixth formers, when
The fact that the fan turns off also.
Involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
Please.
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh. How unexpected.
I don't polish turds. I write poetry.
Potato, potato. So Gary,
Oh,
Peter Clement's gonna let
I'm
me
on
keep
to
the
you.
contents of his downpipe.
there's no harm in asking, I suppose.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no, the boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Very sensible. It's important to know who we're trusting around our children.
Oh, I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No!
Or an anthology of poems on the death of innocence.
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really? I thought you might say that.
What is up with this?
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming. It's inspiration and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Today on the show there's no news. Just a man who keeps multiple poos.
Hey.
Big Un's my favourite. See how it's fibrous, really lovely texture.
Would you encourage other people
Excuse me?
to win?
Hold up.
Collection.
When it covered some
I'll be real, I wasn't looking at the screens because I was like focusing on everything else. I came back. That's the first thing I see.
Back to you,
You see
Jeremy.
this fucking guy shit collection?
What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford.
Oh, I love
which was
Patrick
recently
Bannon.
voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else. Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the stink?
Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what it's like, son? Being the second smelliest town? No, I don't. Living in the shadow of Arseminster. Those smug fucks. But who's laughing now, eh?
What, not me, that's for sure. So what happened, mate?
Right, the good people from Remington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory.
You're talking, of course, about the newly built Flage factory.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here.
Does the stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love.
It's strong at first, but
What is up?
you get used to it after several weeks of your
Oh,
first
let's go down.
bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
So, what's the sickness?
Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms. Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the water main, but I think it's probably the few valves on the high street.
On the high street. Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a lot of inhibition.
Cops, do they? When was the last time you brushed your teeth, you stinking old tramp?
Next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
That's not really a problem, never sung in my life.
Hey.
Sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous, why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon, feel the Bannon. Oh man, what's the point?
And the ennui. All that's left now are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
Nana Dottie? Was that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
Oh, don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels. Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really...
Hey. Fuck!
Why do you keep hitting the power switch?
It keeps turning off.
Oh God, you're on the... Oh Jesus.
God, this is hell.
Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do.
If it's any consolation, this heating fan is, I think, only for this day.
1 minute back.
Thank God.
1 minute back. Oh, that was stupid.
Oh God.
Features a potentially controversial guest. Advance may request some censorship if he goes too off topic. You've done a great job so far, keeping everyone happy, so let's keep up the good work.
Done something.
Oh shit, you see what's on the table there?
Jeremy.
On the side?
Oh, what's the... Oh. What? What?
I think you... I think it went back on the table. Yeah.
What is...
That's what I'm talking about? Cat football? We should
Okay.
do an interview with the War Minister, or a report from Grentham Downs. Even the weather will be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something like to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly, which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot.
He's losing it. He's absolutely...
Yeah, right?
I've had enough. That's it. This is just
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the territory's
What is
first
this?
football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy.
The fuck?
To be totally frank with you. See, I was watching your show and
Man.
I remember seeing the news about the election. And
England's crazy.
It hasn't stopped since.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Also here is Frankie Steampipe.
Man, could you imagine that place was
Who
real?
Explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, I'm joined by a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case...
See, the fan just turns off.
God, look at him. He looks like a drowned rat.
Impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is
Who?
hard. Work they've asked
Jeremy.
me to, it's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
Shit all.
The fuck are these guys?
Come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets found the crowd.
Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
He's losing it.
Cunt.
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
Fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say.
Wow, we may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on!
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin. Ginger Tammy with a world-class pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once. Enough! That's enough!
He's
Enough!
Jared. Holy shit!
Piss myself.
Alex, cut! Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bozeman's little scapegoat, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
in this studio.
You gonna do it?
Yes. I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brink of a siege, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these three fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups have stopped.
You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go, before I change my mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Jenny, lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Good. Right. Yes. You in the broadcast centre. Alex, you listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial, but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes.
Are you talking about the tape?
Look to your right. There is a
Oh, I had a feeling. Okay.
and I want you to load it into one of the machines, and when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras.
I assume you won't be playing that tape. This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear. You seem to know what to do.
Every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided or banana.
God, now I'm curious.
For a bit of fucking balance.
I kind of. I'll listen to him now, I guess.
Alex, play the fucking tape. I don't want to hurt any of you. If I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start. You're going to get me in trouble with that.
People are gonna die, asshole!
Reset the system for the third segment. I imagine the ratings are going to be through the roof.
Indeed, your ratings are absolutely through the roof.
You know the elderly are not a burden. You know the rich were not all evil. And you know the team membership card is an ID card, no matter what they try to tell you. But why should you trust us? Another faceless organization. A shadowy figure with a distorted voice. You've seen it so many times in the movies. Well, this is not a movie.
My name is Alan James. I used to try and shock people for a living, for entertainment. But now we live in a time where perhaps we need to be shocked. Perhaps we need to wake up. Advance are coming for our freedoms.
What's
They're
that?
coming for the fruits of our labors.
What's the replay?
They will take our wealth. They will euthanize our parents and smiling throughout. They will turn our children against us if we voice our concerns. You don't have to accept it. A great many people already won't. You can resist.
And the
You
studio
can
doors are all
disrupt.
still locked?
Find us.
Yes.
Talk with us. Join us.
So what now?
It isn't hard.
I don't know.
We're everywhere.
This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had speech, look. But this was unexpected.
Yeah, imagine it's like, oh, you know, we have this big show for Resistance guy, and then the face of the Resistance is fucking Alex Jones from InfoWars.
Yeah, literally.
How long?
Just the biggest bumbling idiot who thinks water is turning frogs gay.
Unexpectedly, for I very much imagine will be my last broadcast, are two new guests. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News and is someone I consider, well, a friend. And next to her is, what's your name?
Andy.
Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I couldn't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. We'd want to do this. Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was.
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
There is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No. I didn't know. The people I met were with... He wasn't there. I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry. But seriously. Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
Oh my god!
Jeremy!
Jeremy!
Jeremy, you're grasping at straws!
Look, forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself...
I feel bad for like Jeremy, so I'll let him like say his piece. It's just... it wouldn't feel right just take this out.
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
He's already like grasping
doing
his
all
straws.
this at gunpoint.
Then why do you need these? Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you. You read these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop.
They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. They're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves. Anyway, that's why I arranged for you to see that broadcast from the last break. I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's also fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Take a holiday. Out of the limelight. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Having a relationship. Never tried. They're nice. I never tried. I loved them. I loved them. And now, well...
God, Jeremy, don't!
Now, well... I've tried my best to be honest with you. I've tried my best. This just isn't the news anymore. And this just isn't the news anymore. I've lost sight.
Alex, think of the consequences.
I'll let you down.
Please, we can't show this. Cut to the ads. Please, we can't show this.
My name's Jamie
now.
Donaldson.
Do it now.
My name's Jamie.
Now.
If you can.
Do it now.
If you can. Somehow I envy you. If you can. I envy you. Have a peaceful night. Have a peaceful
Jeremy!
This summer, your little ones deserve a treat.
Man, Jeremy is my favorite character.
Yeah.
Ferris wheel.
Yay, Bumlins!
Bumlins!
Yay, Bumlins!
Yay! Man, this heat wave is something of but he was a real hothead in the end, huh?
Yeah. Wow. But yeah.
It's
How
pretty
was
good.
that?
Pretty good performance and like two sequences.
Yeah.
You have
Wow,
received.
your ratings were really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had great ratings.
World, whatever this is, Channel 1.
Okay, so there is a bug here. So there is a difference in what happens if you do or do not cut away before he shoots himself. Apparently, there is a bit of a bug where if you go to rewatch the broadcast of rushes or whatever,
Yes,
the game will get confused as to which one happened.
I see. I guess there's a bit of intricacies there, yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, so at least that's what I know from like the last time I've gone through this section. That there was a bug with that, but
that was cool. That was cool.
It was really good, right?
It was really good actually. Like I don't know if you heard, but like you heard me like lean into my computer screen like after some point. It's like something's going on here.
Yeah, right?
This was because he never got to eat a sandwich.
Yeah, true. Maybe if he had his sandwich.
If he had a sandwich, he wouldn't have killed himself.
He would have if he had a wonderful cucumber sandwich to cool himself down with.
Pirate has no words. Understandable.
If he just had a delicious sandwich.
I'd kill myself on TV too if I didn't have a delicious sandwich.
You wake up, still partly in shock from what you saw on the news last night. What you had to edit on the news last night. When you come downstairs, you find your family sat in the living room, waiting for you.
You take a seat on the sofa next to Sam.
Sam swallows, hesitating before starting. We were so worried about you last night, after Jeremy, with the gun. Sam chokes down a sob. It was awful, on national television. How could you do that? And now, after a horrible pause, Sam finally asks, Are you okay, honey?
I'll be fine.
Sam glances at Charlie, then back to you. We saw that you chose to play that tape. They paused before continuing, and I couldn't help but wonder why.
I didn't feel like I had a choice. I didn't feel like I had a choice.
I think you did the right thing. I mean, it was a crazy situation, but it was the right thing to play the tape, Charlie says quietly. You hadn't realized how much his support would mean to you.
It's good to have your son on your side.
For what it's worth, Alex, I think you were in an impossible situation, and somehow you managed to make the right call. Sam throws her arms around you. Only you were stuck in that studio having to make that choice. No one can criticize what you did, and I'm proud of you.
You've never been so grateful to have Sam support you.
You take a deep breath and gather your thoughts. It's all a lot to take in. You're not sure you're fully processed what happened last night, let alone what Charlie and Sam think about it all.
You smile wearily at your family. You're exhausted.
You didn't know how worried you were about it, but as Charlie makes a stupid joke and you all laugh, you feel the tremendous tension break. Sam rubs your back and tells him to flick the TV on.
You couldn't ask for better.
Your family's supportive.
Yay!
A muffled thud wakes you and Sam in the middle of the night and takes you a few seconds to realize you came from the kitchen. You tentatively make your way downstairs, grabbing an umbrella from near the front door, more for comfort than as an actual weapon.
You slowly push open the door.
You lift the umbrella halfway above your head before you realize it's Charlie stumbling around the dark. One of the kitchen chairs has been knocked over, and he's up to his elbow in a box of cereal when he looks up and sees you standing in the doorway, your worry turning into a mixture of curiosity and anger.
What the hell are you doing crashing around at this time of night?
Your son sheepishly slurs that he was out with some friends, and there were a few beers. As he sways on his feet, the strong smell of alcohol wafting from him tells you that there are more than a few. Do you think it's a good idea to be wasting... Oh, that's you.
Look, you can tell me or I can go get Sam and the three of us can talk about it.
He starts with a hard tone, but then looks up at you with a defiant glare. We're not wasting our nights. What we're doing is important. We're helping Disrupt make a difference. He slams the cereal box on the table, and what you're sure was meant to be a grand gesture, but the puff of sugary frosted flakes undermines the effect.
You're 15. Go to bed, Charlie. Sleep it off.
Charlie chuckles, shaking his head and leaving without a word. Not the reaction you expected. Remember when you used to go to the park together and you'd push him on the swings? Now he's going there for rallies. God, you're old.
Hopefully he doesn't wake Sam on his way to bed. For his sake. You're not gonna go after him?
Yeah, right, I guess. Leaving him be.
It's been almost
It's not
a
like
year.
he's getting pipelined into the alt-right.
Uh-huh. It's been 6 months.
It's been 6 months since you and
sorry.
Sam last discussed Grandma's ever-increasing medical costs, and Emma, whilst very pleasant, has proved as expensive a nurse as you'd feared. You can't quite believe it's been that long already, but the sanctions are really starting to hit home now, and fortunately the government's only solution to help the ailing elderly is a day trip to the transition center.
Why does everything always seem to come back to money?
This time it's you at the kitchen table, surrounded by bills and paperwork when Sam comes to join you. Today, Emma told you that there was really nothing more than you could do, except an expensive, experimental, new treatment that might not even help. Sometimes your mom wants a treatment. More often she talks about visiting a transition center. It's hard to know what she really wants. Sam puts a hand on yours. What are we going to do, honey? She's your mother. It has to be your choice.
She's my mom. We have to do whatever we can. Let's get the treatment.
It's a difficult choice. You never know when you might need that money, particularly for the kids. What if Charlie gets in an accident? What if something happens to Susie while she's abroad and she needs help? But what if you could give them a few more good years with their grandmother? You've dropped to worrying debt.
Surely that's worth the cost.
Oh, 1 year. Just as you're finishing up breakfast, Sam comes in with the post. Oh, we got a postcard from Susie. I hope she's having fun on her trip. Sam reads it aloud as you finish getting ready for work. So I've seen what feels like most of Urkistan. Really cool place, but so cold. Hope JP enjoyed the gift. And before you say anything, yes, you were right to make me pack the extra pair of socks.
Sam gives you a small kick under the table.
Next week got the train to Konslava. Much warmer and loads of beaches to enjoy. I could have stayed there forever, but had to head to San Pellegrino before it got too cold. And I'm so glad we did. We probably got 1 or 2 more stops before heading home, but I'll be back in time for Christmas, I promise. Hope everyone's doing well. Love, Susie.
Sounds like it's been a hell of a trip. Worth every penny.
I think we should have been able to see the cat football.
Yeah. What? All right.
Also, you can see your censorship thingy has been upgraded.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
What does that mean? It means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war. Politics in general.
It's war broadcast.
You don't hear this from me,
If you want more money, you probably do want to play Crazy Neil.
Oh, true. Forgot the Crazy Neil thing.
Oh, great. So they get the
You know, because that's not like conflict of interest as a newscaster.
Katie went abroad, which tells the cautionary tale of one brave young lady's battles to survive the cruel administrations of our neighbours. At 11:25, it's in sizes. And tonight, to Adrian Atkinson Blackley, will be getting his teeth into Fiona from Hamble Bamblebury, who is
10 seconds, everybody.
Cat football DLC, that'd be great.
after the weather and public information
Going in
film
5,
to our close down.
4.
I would love to see their
3.
shitty, like, Photoshop work. Alright.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf.
Would Concrete the cat be on cat football?
Our main headlines.
This orange cat?
Yes.
Company
Awesome.
of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come.
Sadly, however, more casualties were reported today, and as the weeks and months of this war make ever more demands on our armed services, those numbers will, tragically, only continue to rise.
Yeah, I think the OST is just shifted, which makes sense.
Yeah.
To strength today, as rationing depots were opened in the last
It's like Arc 2 now.
areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. However, with the reported rise in mental and physical
I guess it's not all
since
just
the imposition of the blockade,
like being
critics
bad.
have questioned whether those smaller communities which are only now starting to receive help could have been better and quicker served. 7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres has today been declared an overwhelming success. Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with relief by the many organisations calling for it to be opened up to the wider community. With dwindling medical supplies leaving many of our most vulnerable facing chronic pain, it can come as no surprise that the transition centres have found themselves stretched to capacity. Populous. More than 11% of the population
Let's get eugenics in here.
failed to register for a team membership card. A worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. While applications
Legal
are still
requirement.
open for those who like to run fashionably late, they can expect a few tricky questions from advance. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankipour. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. Community cohesion officers found themselves challenged by the unruly mob element always present at Disrupt events, but thankfully managed to keep violent incidents to a minimum. And finally, absent friends.
Aww.
Sad news today as the grave of former National Nightly News host Jeremy Donaldson is vandalised by radical Disrupt activists. The much-loved broadcaster suffered a very tragic public breakdown 10 weeks ago in an incident which ultimately cost him his life.
Oh yeah, some
Disrupt
time has
spokesman
passed.
Alan James, whose organisation last week named Mr. Donaldson as the cause's first martyr, described the graffiti as a fitting tribute to a hero of the resistance. But first this evening, with the war about to enter its 21st punishing week, and people hurting up and down the country, I'll be grilling unpredictable Prime Minister Peter Clement in an exclusive interview from his home in Lancashire. That's coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
They should put a sandwich on Jeremy's grave.
You would've liked that.
It was the one thing keeping him happy, man. He looks so happy with a sandwich.
In part 2, I'm a little overexcited.
The one thing that impressed.
Lil C. And later we've got a new feature that's sure to keep you coming back for more. But first tonight, let's check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's speaking to us from his home in Lancashire. Good evening, Prime Minister. Have we caught you exercising?
Have we started? Yes, that's right, Miss Wolf. Just a few minor adjustments. I mean, nothing drastic. I haven't joined the gym or anything. As my old man used to say, just because she won't take it up the shit, it doesn't mean you shouldn't try for a quick fiddle up the car park.
Language, Prime Minister. Language, Prime Minister.
What? Quick fiddle? What's wrong? Oh, shitter. It's shitter, isn't it? Yep, that's the one.
And can you tell us what brought about this new you?
Well, you know, Mrs. C and I were watching, you know, the night...
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And when I was finished...
If you want to, yeah, if you want to stay out of that,
Well, you know...
you want to stay on the white.
Bless your heart, as I'm sure you all remember. And I were a bit wheezy from all the cigars and all that. And Mrs. C turns to me after, you know, after...
I guess you could choose to tune into the,
Yeah, you can choose to purposely tune into the Just Rock broadcast, but it's gonna be with Alan James, so...
I mean, that's funny.
So I made a decision. And since that day, I have stopped.
I'm not gonna tell you you shouldn't.
Cigars.
I think I might save that for a Disrupt, like, route playthrough.
Yeah, if you go like, if you just go full, like, fucking...
Steak dinners. I suppose
I don't know which side is which anymore.
And apparently I'm going on a walking holiday this Christmas, and that should finish me off for bloody good.
Did you make the decision to holiday within the country this winter because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, Mrs. C has never liked travelling at the best of times. These are certainly not the best of times.
We might want to switch cameras real quick, just a little bit.
There's a lot of red tape involved in leaving the territories at the moment, as I'm sure you're all aware.
Hey, get away, get away.
What?
Oh, careful.
Oh, yeah. Also, it doesn't seem very advanced to be going abroad when the rest of the country is grounded.
And yet, Julia Salisbury announced today that she'll be visiting Svenland during this year's winter break. Is that really an example of team spirit?
What? Did you know about this, Gail?
No one tells me anything, Peter. You should know that. Why don't you know?
Well, leaving that for a moment, it says on this card that a body like yours must take some planning to achieve. What's your morning routine?
Well, I have a frigid morning routine.
Rigid. It's rigid, for fuck's sake!
Oh, yeah. A rigid and demanding plan that my doctor and personal trainer...
Who's your personal trainer?
Ah, some prick called Clark. Is that on your card?
I thought you might wonder. Prime Minister, speaking of planning, with the blockade in its 20th week and the people of this country reeling from its effects, what plans do you have to get us out of this mess?
Well, that's a very blunt question, Mr.
It's a line from the opening.
You, the democratically elected
Title.
Prime Minister, must have an answer.
Don't you get smart with me, Pat. I was a fucking national treasure before you were a twinkle in the milkman's scrotum. You want to talk about plans? Let me tell you about plans. That's all we do.
Camera.
Fucking plans and revised plans, and then meetings to discuss the implementation of plans and plans and yet more planning for fucking plans and yet more fucking plans.
Well, that's good. That's good to know, Prime
Do you
Minister.
know, I used to really like you, Pat.
Oh.
Oh shit. I forgot about that too.
Watching you, and you know what? You get more like him every day.
Alan James has logged in.
Prime Minister, later on this evening, your co-leader,
Camera.
Julia Salisbury, is going to give a national address from team headquarters. Can you give us a hint of what she's going to say?
Yes. Well, I imagine that there
Sorry,
will be
you
the
imagine?
usual. No, what I mean is.
You do know about this broadcast, don't you, Prime Minister?
I'm sure I did.
Uh-oh.
Julia and I have no secrets from each other. We don't memorize each other's bloody diaries either. As my old mum used to say, if you wanted to get a job done quick, don't get bogged down in the pubes. What else you got?
Sorry?
Only cards. What else? A little piece of my life you want to rustle through? Get out. Refill my glass. Sir. Ah, come on. Come on.
Okay. What music do you listen to when you work out?
Well, Gail tells me that I work out to Little C, but I have absolutely no fucking idea who that is. Do you think the C stands for?
It stands for collaborative, Prime Minister.
That does make more sense, actually.
How's rationing affecting you?
It's hard, but we get by. You just have to learn to get by on the basics. Take comfort in each other. I've got Mrs. C and many a fine single malt. I want for nothing. Except for a decent night's sleep, of course.
Prime Minister, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it's time for the Culture Spot with Lil C and a world premiere performance of her new song. I genuinely can't wait to hear that.
Duplicitous!
After this.
Oh my god!
1 minute back, everybody.
And that is what happens when you wander from the car.
I don't think he knew about her statement.
I don't think anyone's supposed to know. When you mentioned it, Bozeman's face turned a colour that I think you call embolism.
Am I in trouble?
Bozeman? Nah, you're like the daughter he never had. Suppose the higher-ups might fire him, though.
Who's Lil C?
Or if there's any justice, me.
Who's Lil C?
Are you winding me up?
What? I'm civilized. I read books.
Huh?
Me when I read books for Limbus. I'm civilized. I read books.
I'm civilized. I listen to audiobooks of the Limbless people.
Guess what, guys? Moby Dick is pretty good.
Oh. Oh. I see. I can add sound effects now.
Yeah. As far as I know, I don't think there's that much of an impact. You can basically hammer those buttons as much as you want for most broadcasts, I think.
That's awesome!
So I think you're gonna enjoy it.
Also, see a pirate.
I've never heard of her before.
Oh, she's big, really big.
Really? Is she any good?
It's just not the same without Sandwich Guy.
My kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
Right? It's just Megan now.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7, I think.
What?
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Mom, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of
I think there was
20.
when they prompt you like this, and there's like some kind of timing that you're supposed to do. It's okay, they don't mind too much, I think.
May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
What's the regime?
And my manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really, it was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings on my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
Billy Bob Jean Short.
Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women. But there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
So, this newfound explosion into your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing like nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi. But as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and great I am, but actually it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again.
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's Put It In My A Together and it's
so soon, after the last one.
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry For Help. And it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops. And it's out now. So girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh. There she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it's tough and I hate it sometimes. I hate myself. I just want to like cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me, so I must be quite lucky.
Well, you know you don't have to do this though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights between like my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different, you know, like better. But I don't know. I love doing autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I'd press record on my cassette, but then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practicing again.
Sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough, and sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
You're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it,
So, it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. You know what, it's actually alright. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then, well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here is Lucy with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Force's favorite, the Queen of Teams, here to break in your blockades, Lil C.
Oh.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing, only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so
I see, rhythm's a little wonky with this one.
ain't no disruption here, but I got no agenda. Just want the team and me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop no morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no vicar's daughter, common skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die at two. So what a Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since Mama burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. 53. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
You gotta admire the effort of putting a lot of songs in this game.
Yeah.
Hi, Megan.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Oh, Neil.
Can I just say,
I knew.
So much lets me do this. It really means a lot to, you know, to be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like this.
Don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father.
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to fuck off. Like,
oh, right. And
Michael? Where is Michael?
What about the
Lucy was lying about it all.
We both have the same agency, you know, like it just made sense. And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a D&T before my meeting with the lube guys. They say to Rob.
I'll just zoom in on Megan's face also.
Yeah. Holy shit.
She's like, hello?
Hehehehe.
They can't hear your choices, so they'll be assuming you're helping things along and not making them look ridiculous. Mind you, after the last section, can't help us all. Try and do better.
Oh, fuck off, dude.
I'll tell you what, just keep adding flowers until it feels like flowers. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds.
Oh, he's dressed up as a party, a cracker.
Yeah, the party popper.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys!
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DePoon now. How'd you like that?
Yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
I see, so they tell you the ones that they,
And how does Angela feel
that you want you to pick, I'm guessing. Is that what's highlighted?
Your wife. Your wife.
You have like a little green edge.
God, no. No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
Norm de Plume.
Yeah.
And
That was a cackle.
Yeah.
What was your inspiration?
I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a protein sitcom, and I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking. Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Why would they be laughing here? It hasn't started yet.
Camera.
That's much better. Keep going like that and you'll do fine.
I see, he's only commenting on like your typing. And like your timing.
Yeah.
Miss Craven. Morning.
Oh,
Miss Craven.
morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried that it ever becomes productive of the community.
You're ruining the sitcom.
I'm making it better. I'm making it better.
It's true.
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven.
Camera.
This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock. Works like a charm. Works like
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Yes. Wow.
The soundboard's so bad.
My collection today.
Oh, I think that one's addressed to me.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right. Oh, so you're right.
So fucking
The way he's like shuffling through this thing so violently.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her.
Look at she opens it up and it's just a photo of a fucking guy.
What's up, losers? What's up, losers?
Oh, no. It's Brad. He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
What? Brad dudes?
No. Ruffians! Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on the notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What? Did you say tutoring?
That's right.
Tutoring?
Maths is very important. Would you mind, Ray? Would you mind, Ray?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I'm so
I think your ratings are a little wonky, but that's okay. It's funny.
Helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue.
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are, and not on your actions.
No doy.
So it wasn't you who vandalized my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for a minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you hear that, Ray?
Oh, yes, what a wonderful surprise. I now respect you as a man.
Put her there, Ray.
God.
Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
Huh?
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we are receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we are picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be nuclear explosions in 4 major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into they put them into millions.
Millions? Jesus Christ!
As a result, so apologies for the interruption. And apparently we can go live now to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury any moment. Yes, let's go to that now. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them.
I'm curious to what Alan Jones has to say about this, or Disrupt rather.
The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade. You are to remove it immediately. We will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now our borders. Your people are our people. They will finally
That's
be
ominous.
fed and clothed and educated and healed. But for your privileged few, the moment that they feared is now upon them. Allow me to be crystal clear. If you fire a single shot at our territory, or harm a single one of our citizens, we will not hesitate to detonate further devices. You will not find them. Though no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't really talk about my personal life in my job. It's not relevant or important. So many of you may be surprised to learn that I have a brother. His name is David. And right now I can't get his stupid face out of my head. He's a researcher and he's currently travelling the continent for work. And I don't know where he is right now. And I should imagine that there are many of you sitting at home tonight digesting this news, and you also have loved ones on the continent. In Urkistan, or Havia, or San Palmerino, or Konislava, which is where David was when I last spoke to him 3 days ago. So when I tell you I know how you are feeling tonight, believe me, I do. But I also know that there's a flow to events. I see it every day here. I know that although tonight it feels like we may be in a time of fear and darkness, we may actually be at the break of a new dawn. We don't know that yet. We can't know that yet. But together we will find out. And I will be here every night, feeling what you are feeling. And with your help, maybe we can all get to that brave new world. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out. Got people ringing around, but the telephone networks are overloaded.
A poor pilot. Hinder. Oh.
Exactly which cities were hit or
Yeah, and poor Alex here, his daughter is Your daughter is kinda sorta in those places.
He's kinda irradiated now.
Yeah.
Oh. Excuse me?
The fucking ad.
I kind of watched this. Is just like, man, This escalated. Your life is crumbling around you and you've just lost members of your family, but this bitch is trying to sell you a brochure.
For real.
Yo, it's P Corp!
Yo, P Corp!
As the cruise now mainly takes place around St. Buckley.
Complete the broadcast. Let's make tomorrow better, the achievement says. Huh?
Alright, well, you're not in, horrible debt, at least.
Yeah. Huh? I'm trying to man. Jesus. A proportionate response.
The rest of your shift passes in a blur, with the same words going around and around in your head. Operatives working for advanced detonated nuclear explosives. The initial estimates put the death toll into the millions.
Fucking new advanced cannot be trusted. Did this really just happen?
You pull into the driveway with no memory of the journey home. The light in the front room is on. Clearly someone else is still awake. The door creaks open into the living room, and you find Sam sitting on the sofa, staring at the TV. The screen is off, and they're clearly lost in thought.
You take a seat beside them and put a reassuring hand on their shoulder.
They don't look at you, but they do reach up to take your hand in theirs. Now that you're closer, you can see the tears flowing freely down Sam's face. Our little girl.
I know. I don't know what to do.
What the hell can we do? The bastards killed Susie, and millions of others, all because of their fucking war, which he never asked for. Behind the tears you see a fire, raw fury you've never seen Sam before. I hate them, Alex. I know you've never been a fan of Advance, but after this, they're monsters. And I need to know you understand that. That we can't just be indifferent, we need to actually do something.
Could you imagine saying Advance
did what was necessary? You know, detonating the nuclear explosives and holding the rest of the continent hostage by having another 50 plus of them.
Jesus Christ. Nothing can justify what they did. And everyone who tries is just as bad as they are.
Relief spreads over Sam's face like a wave and they collapse against you, clutching tightly. Clearly this was weighing heavily on them. You're not sure you've even processed it all fully yet.
But at least you'll get through it together. A final farewell. Huh?
The last week has passed in a blur. A rush of things to do, but all immediately forgotten, your memory clouded by a dark fog. 9 days since the so-called Liberation Night and the beginning of Advance's new future. You weren't the first ones at the church today. You were staggered by the number of people who had come to mourn with you. Everyone here for the same reason, sharing the same pain, the same sense of loss. It's written all over their faces, much as it would be on yours.
You step away from everyone else, needing space to gather your thoughts.
Your daughter, poor little Susie, gone. Sam has said little since that evening. They're still getting over the shock. But when you walk over and squeeze her hand, they squeeze back, tightly. You'll get through this together. You can only imagine how awful it would be to face this alone.
There hadn't even been a coffin to buy.
It's a very they atomized your daughter. Wow, big jump.
Wow. Time skip. An academic exodus. Wow, this is...
It's a seemingly ordinary morning, but as you get into work, you find a small crowd gathered in the break room. When you go in to grab your first cup of tea of the day, tea, not coffee, I see, you can't help but overhear some excited chatter. You didn't hear? Yeah, another one's gone missing. Must that bring the total up now? Oh, I should think over 100 at this point. They won't all have been reported or noticed yet.
Sorry, what's going on?
An excited young woman turns to you and begins to explain. Another professor went missing from Queensview University. With all the other disappearances over the last year, scientists, doctors, researchers... She paused before lowering her voice to a whisper. It's clearly Disrupt targeting the people speaking out against them. I've even heard Advances struggling to prevent further... A deep, familiar voice from behind you interrupts. What exactly is going on here?
A silence overtakes the room as you all turn in unison towards the doorway.
Bozeman clears his voice before continuing. I've told you before, I don't want to hear about these so-called disappearances. Come on now, people. Advance has been very clear they've nothing to worry about. Which means they're not our problem, and unless they start classing cappuccinos as intellectual, I don't think anyone here has anything to worry about. Let's get back to work.
Bozeman holds up a hand to keep you as everyone else flies out the room.
Look, between you and me, this leave it alone malarkey comes from on high. It's out of my hands. So I would appreciate if you would refrain from talking about it further. And make sure the news is in line with that school of thought, yes? He gives you a pat on the arm and a smile before leaving to carry on with whatever it is he does during the workday.
It seems that, for better or for worse, public ownership is now in full swing.
Yeah, it is interesting, and this is a British game, because,
they drink tea.
You know, there's never been, like, a state-run television program, state-owned, in America. You're surprised to find Sam in bed next to you when you wake up. You must have gotten very late last night for drinks with the folks from school. You decide to let them sleep in and enjoy a lazy Sunday morning. With the house quiet, you decide to bring some breakfast into the living room to watch some TV while you eat. This is breaking news. Reports are coming in from across the country that large swaths of farmland went up in flames last night as part of what authorities are calling a heinous and well-planned act of terrorism by the group known as Disrupt.
You drop your spoon back into the porridge and turn up the volume.
In addition to food stores, which government sources have said will put a strain on Universal Menu Center's Forestry Ride, a number of CCO and civic buildings were targeted in last night's attack. According to Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, specific prisons and re-education betterment facilities were raided, and a small selection of problematic and potentially dangerous individuals were forcibly extracted from lawful custody.
You hold your breath, waiting to hear if anyone got hurt.
Unfortunately, it appears that the CCOs were ill-prepared for an event like this, and Disrupt seemed much more effective and well-organized in comparison. While most of the target locations were thankfully empty of people, given the lateness of the hour, the Betterment Centers were fully staffed when they came under attack. 17 CCOs and 4 administrative labs staff lost their lives as a result of the brutal action Disrupt last night, with countless more injured, many seriously, and rushed to hospital. A few Disrupt members were captured during the conflict, but the vast majority seem to have evaded capture so far. More on this story as it develops.
You gotta turn off the TV.
But something catches your eye before you do. Footage at one of the crime scenes has been looping around, the smoking shell of a CCO building. A very distinctive lighter, clearly from Urkistan. It's too small to make out clearly, but there's definitely an engraving on it.
What have you and Chippy got yourselves caught up in?
Your son is a terrorist!
They should have went a day before.
Your son is cooking!
I mean, like, when you think about it, from the son's POV, you're like, one, like, his views are already lining with like distrust, right?
Yeah, he already was believing in Disrupt, and then
Disrupt, yeah.
Advance killed his sister. So.
Yeah, so I can't even fault him. That's my boy.
A year and a half since Liberation Night.
Alex, are you receiving? This is Alan James.
What?
The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and we need your help. Throughout this broadcast, we're going to ask you to do things that will directly help with this mass protest. I'll be talking to you regularly tonight, and I'll also be hacking in when I can. Please help get our message out. We're on the verge, Alex. You've always been fair and balanced in your approach to us. With your help, we can tip the balance in our favor. If you play our tape at the second break, that's when we think it will have the most impact. It's on your right.
Episode of Just the Job.
they just sneak in and just slip this in my desk? Like anyone has access
Yeah,
in here?
I guess so.
I don't want to go on a date with your cousin, Colin.
What have you got to lose?
My dignity, my reputation.
It's all right once you get past the teeth and the problematic tattoo.
I am perfectly capable of messing up my own love life.
Sorry about that. David wouldn't get off the phone.
Oh, is David single?
For Christ's sake, Colin, stay out of it.
I can help you. I'm an expert at romance. Ask my ex-wives.
Please don't set me up with your brother. That's 10 seconds, everybody.
You're not as tight, babe.
Too short?
Too smart. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News, broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolf. Our top stories tonight. Ashes to ashes. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted attacks across the territories. The coordinated action, dubbed the Night of Fire by commentators, was seen as an attempt to subvert the supply chain, but there may have been more to it. After a roadside IED toppled the convoy, prisoners, including Portia Hamilton-Mann, the daughter of the former Prime Minister, were freed and have subsequently vanished. The escapees are presumed to have fled the territories. Here at Channel 1, we say good riddance to bad rubbish. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today,
They're calling it, they're numbering their territories now.
Yeah, they're numbering them. It's like the Hunger Games.
What started as
Or,
rationing during the 20
like,
Or-
has blossomed into a contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Jack
Which one was the district scene like blowing up in Loomis's trailer? Was it District 4?
I think that's the one they started. It was District. Was it D? So that's
Yeah,
like
4.
Jordan
Mhm.
Rankley, or the culinary
Disney
skills
Corp.
of a professional footballer. If I were a rich man, problems in territories 11, 17 and 22 today as striking bosses attempted to undermine their new economies. With seemingly no awareness of irony, the former CEOs and MDs have come together to form the Wealth Creators Union, with demands including a return to 150% bonuses, private jets and mandatory grovelling zones. In an annoying show of petulance, the former elites drove their luxury vehicles at 10 miles per hour up and down the motorways of their respective territories. The coordinated protest of elites inconvenienced several 100,000 of their employees. Some fun now. Signs of ever more resistance to Advance's radical policies today, as popular resistance movement Disrupt extended their reach further across the territories. The organisation's emblem appeared in every major city across the territories last night in a well-coordinated publicity stunt, which has seen them dominate the headlines. Asked about the impressive display earlier today, Disrupt spokesperson Alan James said that the movement was reaching what he described as a critical mass. A poor choice of words, given recent
Good job, dude.
for the last 2.5 years. Foreign soil. A glimpse today of failed CEO Sophia Remington, who, facing serious criminal charges centred around the details of her pet project, has spent the last year in refuge at the Malvalian Embassy here in the capital. With no end in sight to her self-imposed isolation, the board of Remington's Fist removed her as CEO in absentia this morning by a unanimous vote. Sophia was heard to yell something obscene in Malvalian at the assembled journalists before slinking back inside. We didn't catch all of it, but it was something about our mother and a goat. Nerdpocalypse. It seems the story of the stranded scientists of Taint came to an
They
end
all
today
die.
with the final chapter written
It's the same image. Is there no choice anymore?
cave system after a violent conflict broke out about the correct syntax of a binomial equation. Abandoned by their colleagues on the surface, denied supplies.
Is that a fucking sword?
Done without them.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck?
For this crisis. And where did they get
I love their Photoshop work.
Yeah.
The notorious decline of Johnny Hamsleeves finally concluded today when Judge Randall Severity sentenced him to life for a string of violent offences, nearly all committed under the influence of alcohol. The judge described him as a man who had made some entertaining but ultimately poor.
There's so many outcomes
Yeah, I
to
love
the
the
Dante's
Dante
Taint.
Taint scientists. They're really
Yeah.
good.
Team as soon as he's had the time to carve a design out of soap.
They all fucking kill each other.
For the notice board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh. You know what?
Today is the day we take back control. Soon it will be time for you to help us again. Come out of your houses, block the traffic, bring the capital to a standstill. I've met so many of you in my travels up and down Territory 1. You always ask the same question. How can I help? Well, this is how. And as for when, you'll know.
Alan James.
Alan James on my TV?
Days after the loss of a fine leader and a great man, the start of tonight's programme is dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what will soon be a memorial garden in Peter's honour. Patrick.
Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Because I'm not being funny. Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now there's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick. We're
Of
live.
course, can't say that. There's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick. We're live.
Not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days. She's lost it, mate. She's completely off the rocker. I heard from an aide that... Hello, Megan. You join me here live from the what? Hello, Megan. You join me here live from the what? Oh.
Their pain smile.
Seems like we've lost some signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking...
That's so fucking stupid.
It's so good.
It's great.
Has done a fabulous job. Oh, okay, all right. It seems like we have got the signal back. We can now go live to Patrick Bannon in Parliament Park. Patrick.
Thank you, Megan. I'm Megan. Patrick Bannon, and
He got erased.
It's so good. I love this bit.
Any moment now, Julia Salisbury will step out on stage behind me.
Alex, Bozeman here. The boys in
Congratulations, Patrick.
footage isn't fully cut together yet. You're going to have to do it on the fly. For goodness sake, make sure you make it look good.
Oh, he's gonna look like shit. Is it less appealing new that when I'm being told to do it?
And it seems like the ceremony is getting underway. Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance, to begin her address.
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends. 500 days ago, all of our lives changed irrevocably. Still reeling from the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night,
The Cosmic Combat are really good. That's awesome.
Newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear friend, and a hero. Peter Gordon Clement.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rothering, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television. First moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
Just the Job first hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series.
He looks like a madman.
And charming audiences up and down.
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are, not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them. Courage, integrity, empathy, and hard bloody graft.
It's just a cringe compilation.
Including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, Late Night Chat Show PT, which at its peak drew millions of viewers.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me.
I love the zoom in shot of him just knock the fuck out.
He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character.
Smoking back there.
His faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these united territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5 million swear words during his career.
though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million
He's
F-bombs
giving you an
alone.
up yours.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night, he wasn't the man.
Oh my god!
But his eyes still.
I like how they even have this fucking shit like available for you.
They record all of it.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly 20 years ago. Moments before I was supposed to give a speech. Not unlike this one, actually. Only I'd spilt coffee all down myself. And I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked. And from behind me, I heard, "Christ, pet, you've either pissed your keks or sprung a leak, but either way, you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind, compassionate, sensitive. Natural leader. But mostly a good man. This glorious, this was so beautiful and new. This shining beacon of
Thank you, Alex. There'll be another opportunity to steer public perception soon. It's really starting. You'll know when.
Camera.
Oh.
Camera.
The future he forged, the boundaries he pushed. To me,
The thing is, like, in character, it makes sense when I do this because your daughter got evaporated.
it is my great honor to give to you the Peter Clement Memorial Garden. Should we see if we can get a countdown going? Everyone with me? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Now, Alex, control the message.
Mom, we have to get you to safety. Come with us.
I'm not leaving, I can't.
Oi!
You two, come with me. Don't panic. We're gonna help you. We need a minute. You're hurting me.
Stop resisting, then. Stop resisting and we'll let you up.
Not resisting!
What are you doing?
Not resisting! You all saw! Not resisting!
I'm the Prime Minister, and if I give you an order, you will damn well follow it. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes,
Yes,
Mom!
Keep your eyes open.
Look at me.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear anything.
Yes, medics are coming. You sit down.
Patrick, no!
No, stay.
Well, then you can consider this payback. Salisbury's still here.
Beginning with crash authorization. Centipedes are requested. Target approaching Songbird.
More than 10 million people. Justice demands a response.
Haven't you done enough? Look around you.
Fucking
This is
time.
what your precious freedom looks like, is it? On the fire!
Rise up! Take to the streets. The time has come. Stop us all. Resist. Distract.
Lower your weapons. Location secure. I said, lower your weapons.
Get out, man.
No.
What are you doing?
Sir, can't you see?
Shut that off. I said turn it off. I said turn it off.
Shocking scenes from the capital there.
It's not enough.
Shocking scenes.
You've just seen them execute unarmed civilians. People like you and me. So why are you watching this? Why are you not in the streets with us tonight? What will it take for you to get up and be a part of this? March on team headquarters, storm the building, demand elections, demand answers. Be what you were born to be, the once and future free.
That means by now. Don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Alright, really doing this.
That didn't go so well, Alex. But we can turn it around in the next segment.
It was a good distance from the unit base.
Oh, I pressed the wrong one. My bad. Fuck.
Different tonight. This is the big one.
a revolution happening outside and we're off to Dangy fucking Park.
Wait, what do you mean next one?
Journalism, apparently.
Can we get set for the next sequence?
What are you cooking?
Poor Patrick. Patrick got his freaking ears blown out from the explosion.
Man.
We don't know yet which camera he's on, but if we find out, I'll let you know. Just keep your eyes out for the fist and try and keep it on the ear for at least 5 seconds. Our operatives will do the rest.
Indeed, this place is closing down and everything's gotta go.
No, it's not closing down.
Relocating.
They killed Patrick.
That's right, Brad. Rivington Smith will be back to a territory near you very soon.
I think Patrick's alive, just like injured. I think.
No, they killed Patrick.
Oh, yes. No, what are you talking about? Oh,
Yeah,
what do
yeah.
you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, Jenny!
Patrick just got, you know,
Exploded.
just a hair bleach really quick.
That's 10 seconds, everybody.
Just leave this with me, yeah?
Excuse me?
I know where we should go with this.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, Megan Wolf. Very shortly, we'll be taking our daily trip down to the village for the notice board. But first, let's have a quick catch-up with Mr. Jeff de Plume.
Yeah. Right. Listen up, you lot. We need to get a few things straight.
Everything okay, Jeff?
You're not exactly fans of what we're trying to do in here. You've made that perfectly clear.
So what's going on, Jeff?
I'm just having a little word with the viewers, Megan. Don't worry yourself about it. Now.
Jeff? Seems like you've forgotten where you are, Jeff.
Well, I am.
Which is a shame. A real shame. Now tell me, Jeff.
We've just heard our man's on camera 4.
As you know, Megan, we do our segment on the show.
Get back to the interview, Alex.
It's increasingly clear to me that nobody likes it.
Would you say that?
I don't have to. You
3,
should see some of the letters
4,
I get.
I would love to see some of those letters personally, Jeff.
Well, luckily, I brought them all with me here. Yeah.
You're a very small man, aren't you?
Yeah. Now, there's been a lot of misunderstandings.
Excellent work, Alex. That's the location shared. Next, you'll need to give them a go.
If it's all right with you.
Well, yes, our viewers are our top priority, so I think that's a good idea.
Good, I couldn't agree more. Right, yeah, this one annoyed me. Dominic from Rantley wrote, Dear arrogant, talentless oaf. I think it's addressed to Tommy, but still. You're not funny, you're annoying, and I wish you'd all go and live in the sea.
It's be hard to hear, isn't it? What would you say to Dominic?
Yeah, I'd say that 3 Screenwriters Awards and a TV Digest nomination beg to differ.
He's brought them with him.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of that lot agree with Dominic.
Does look that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, what have we got? Oh, yeah, Janet from Sanford wrote, fuck off, Jeff. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What have we got? Here. Oh, yeah, this one. We've got blah, 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 Philippa's talent, yada, yada, Tommy's fine. And here we are. But you, Jeff, are the most pointless waste of airtime since the test card.
Hang on, this one, Dear Genius.
Hey!
Your show is the greatest waste of time. Never mind.
Right, fine. Right, yeah, this one. Someone's drawn a picture in what I assume is ketchup next to my home address with a message that just reads, "You're a shitty man."
Quite good. This one simply reads, I want watch this rubbish, which I assume is a spelling mistake, but either way, it's just very confusing.
Yeah. Fuck off. Oh, I read that one.
Yeah, so the strength of feeling here is strong,
Yeah.
I would say. Jeff, what do you want to say to the people at home?
I would say there's an easy explanation, Megan. Yeah? As you know, we are unbelievably funny in here. Yeah? So it seems to me quite obvious that certain people upstairs are so unbelievably bad at their jobs.
Careful now.
Yeah, or, and I think this more likely, are deliberately trying to ruin the show.
No.
You just be glad that security won't let me up there anymore, all right?
So you're blaming the notice board's poor ratings on our long-suffering broadcast team?
I am, yeah. They're making us look like a bunch of pricks out there, Megan.
Listen, while our skilled broadcast team might have made a few errors that have led to some sloppy segments, I really don't think that's fair.
Yeah? Well, I think that's bullshit.
You go then and get ready. Whew, that was Jeff de Plume there, creator and writer of the notice board. Just a reminder, if you do have any comments or criticism about Jeff, you can send those in. He clearly reads them all, so please do keep them coming. But now it's time.
He fucking hates this guy.
It's time to head over to the notice board.
Jeff about to drop your IP address?
Fuck. Oh, fuck. I've forgotten the line. Can we go again? I've forgotten the line. Can we go again? Oh, I start again.
What a day!
What a day! First
I love the like knee shot on that camera.
Notice. I don't know how I managed to cope with it all. Oh wait. Perhaps I do. Perhaps I do. Oh! By St. Barnabas! What on earth is all this?
Freeze, dirtbag!
Oh! Shit. Laura, I thought you were a knife-wielding mugger or stabber.
I'm afraid not. It's just me, a community cohesion officer, responsible for keeping crime at record lows.
Of course, I keep forgetting that thanks to you and your team, violence in our streets is a thing of the past.
What's all this, Vicar?
I know!
It's time for the go code. Give us 3 boos in a row, Alex. That will start the pincer movement. You might just pull this off. Push forwards! 3 boos, Alex.
Alright, let's do it.
It looks heavy.
Now don't call me the Right Reverend Ripped for no reason.
Yes!
It's no good. It's no good.
Looks like all those Crucifix classes were a waste of time.
Maybe you, a young CCO, will be able to lift it.
Try and get the next one.
Looks like all of those lifting classes were a waste of time.
It's too heavy, even for me.
Let's hope that's enough. At least you tried, Alex.
Strong enough to lift this.
Did someone call for the best firefighter in town? Hi-ya!
Thank you, Captain Evans. You're so much stronger than us.
Especially me, the weak old man.
It's the least I could do for my community.
Those explosions going off in the distance.
No luck catching the little devil then?
Unfortunately not. The ferret struck again last night. When Ray opened the post office this morning, he found that every single stamp had been pre-licked.
My God!
Some people have no decency.
Sadly, if we don't catch him before tomorrow, we may have to cancel the village fete.
Don't worry. We won't let that happen. Will we, Vicar?
No, no.
Will we, Vicar?
No, Laura, tell me, why do they call him the ferret?
Some say it's because of his sneaky nature, but really it's because whenever he strikes, he always leaves behind the foul stench of urine.
Never fear, officer. We'll catch this pissy nuisance and save the village fete, or my name's not Captain Danger Evans. The community cohesion team are doing their best, but they simply don't have the smarts to solve this mystery. But I know someone who does. Someone who's about to blow this thing wide open. Me! Blackout! Me! Blackout!
the morning of the fete now, thanks to the theatrical convention.
I sure hope everything goes to plan. Oh, look, there's Mrs. Craven setting up her cake stall.
And look, there's the motorcycle display team setting up for a show that would be too expensive to show on television.
I'm setting up the coconut shy. What are you doing, Vicar?
Well, first, I'm running the tombola, and then I'm selling forgiveness for money.
Aren't you judging the jams?
I couldn't possibly.
Oh, that sounded like Mrs. Craven. Looks like someone sucked all the jam out of her donuts.
The damn ferrets are struck again.
Whatever are we to do?
Although I'm very competent, I have no idea how to solve this case.
I guess we'll have to cancel the fete.
Hold it right there, ferret. Hold it right there.
Me? Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar.
Oh, they're getting really rapid now.
What you're talking about?
Reverend.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
Vicar, is this true?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend!
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
Vicar, is this true?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend!
No, stop. We've got to stop. Let's just... hold it right there, ferret.
Have you been drinking from the fire extinguishers again?
Not you, the vicar.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Admit it. You wanted the village fete cancelled so you could have the day off, didn't you?
Vicar, is this true?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend!
No! Someone's fucked this. This. Here. Admit it, you wanted the fete cancelled so you could have a day off, didn't you? Vicar, is this true? Yes. I already have to work Sundays.
I already have to work Sundays. I shouldn't have to work 2 days a week.
Vicar, is this true?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Reverend!
Okay. Sorry, we're just going to have to cut short the final episode of the notice board.
What?
Yeah,
Megan jump scare.
It's really sad, but I think it really has run its course.
No, there's a good bit coming up where I solve the whole thing.
It is a shame. It's a real shame. We would like to thank you all.
Look, let's just go on with the last bit. Tommy, let's just go on with the last bit. Tommy, for fuck's sake, you link! Right, fine. I already have to work Sundays.
It's something about,
God! Fucking damn it!
So thanks again to the cast of the notice board. So much.
But how did you know? My first clue was the smell.
The hundreds of lessons and the laughs over the last year and a
smell
half.
of urine. Right. Next, I noticed that the vicar's tongue was particularly dry, almost as if he'd been licking thousands and thousands of stamps.
We'll be so sad to see it go, but at least we ended on a high. It's almost time to take a break there. When we come back, we'll be seeing the opening number of a brand new musical.
You'll fucking regret this!
That's coming up after these messages.
That's the ads. Let's strike this set. Just leave it by the bins.
Sorry, did that actually just happen?
Wasn't it amazing?
This show will not be the same without him.
What advert is this, Alex? I don't remember passing it for broadcast. Think you made a mistake there.
I'm an economist and commentator.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And how progressive their policies are. Well, I was wrong. And I'm here tonight to say I'm sorry. And
one last push, Alex. We're closing in.
I don't know what you mean by that.
The last section is working with us. You'll be asked to censor on our behalf.
All right.
If you do it right, the final orders will be given. We'll get 3 chances. Get at least 2 of them right, and we're going to win this thing. It's happening, Alex. Tonight we take it back.
I always
All right.
admired my friends who had so much more. Over the years, my jealousy grew. So when Advance came to power, I didn't think about the damage they would do. I acted selfishly.
I was glad to see the rich punished. I didn't see how backwards advance were. I didn't understand that rather than tearing down the wealth creators, we should have been helping everyone else to take a seat at their table. Under advance, the country is poorer. It is poorer in ambition. It is poorer in aspiration. We are infantilized by advance's naive policies.
Please, Sarah,
Policies
anything.
born from
I'm really not supposed to say.
Are we safe?
absurd,
Hi,
redistributed
I'm Maddie.
fantasies.
Jenny just said to ask if you need a touch-up.
I have
Did she?
hauled myself out to the media to defend
That's my
the
shade, is it?
indefensible.
Yeah.
This is my
I have
shade.
betrayed my parents. I see that now. Mum, Dad,
You can run back to Jenny
I'm
now.
sorry. Our only hope.
Oh my god, Megan!
Nothing you can tell me.
The only
At all,
hope
like at all.
They said no one's died.
now
That's all I can
lies
say.
10
with
seconds.
disrupt.
What's wrong with you?
She is in tears.
Ugh.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later in this segment, we're hoping to be able to go back to Patrick Bannon at the scene of tonight's shocking disrupt attack. But first, I'm delighted to be joined by the cast of the smash hit musical everyone is talking about. I'll be speaking with the cast in a moment, but first, let's take a look at them in action. Please give a warm National Nightly welcome to the Novaries.
Hello? Doctor? Yes, I see. Thank you for letting me know. I have a decent life. I'm a happy, loving wife. And my job is well paid and fulfilling. I have a husband, John. He's due home soon, won't be long. And I have to tell him
Careful not to use camera 2.
Oh.
That's okay.
We take time alone together to talk and laugh and play. We prioritize our needs. We do charitable deeds. But the flowers of a happy life are now beset by weeds.
I'm home.
Oh, darling John.
Oh, dearest John.
There's something very wrong. I've just had a conversation with our doctor, David Wong, so please be seated. This news will make you feel defeated. The scan revealed a lump.
You poor unlucky chump. Is it cancer?
Worse, oh, John. We're having a baby.
How can this be?
Oh, woe is me.
Why has this happened to me? I always wear 2 condoms for the maximum
Peaceful habitat. Now our lives are fucked. We're having a baby. Now you can't have any wine at book club.
And there won't be any time for foot rubs.
Now your hair will stink of weed.
And you'll start to disagree.
And forget about that holiday in Territory 3.
No more waking up at 10:30. In fact, you're never gonna get a good night's sleep again.
No more snap decisions to go on to a club.
You'll be lucky if you even make it out to the pub.
Why can't we be more like our gay and lesbian chums?
The only glue they have to deal with comes from personal bums.
Now when I take a sick day at home,
The parasite won't leave you alone.
how he's grown.
We're our top priority.
I look after you, and you look after me. Ain't no trouble and strife. We got a childless life. No one wails and no one walls. No one draws things on the walls.
A happy husband.
A wonderful wife.
We got a childless life.
We're having
a baby.
We're having a baby. Changing nappies daily. We're having a
baby.
No more weekends by the coast. Now your kid is up
having a baby. No more stars and no more. We're having a baby. 18 years of bills and lease. Time for a whole new phase. We're having a baby. One more thing before the show begins. Have you considered that you might be having twins?
Amazing. The Nova is there, treating us to their opening number from Energy for a Childless Life, which is currently the hottest ticket in the capital theatre district. We'll be touring the territories later this year.
Right then, come on you guys, come on down, let's go, set your show. Hi Megan.
Oh, really? You found the
I will stop at nothing to ruin television.
Listen, let's get stuck in. Your amazing musical. Now, I mean, not only do you perform this show every single night,
With matinees on Wednesday and Saturday.
right, but you're also the show's creators, am I right?
Well, everyone contributed their ideas, and then some of us went away and did the actual work on the script. But no, it's very much a team effort.
Oh, that's fantastic. How rude of me. I've not introduced any of you. I'll be the one being replaced next. Let's go down the line, shall we?
Hi, I'm Jack.
It's a spooky joke from Megan.
Jennifer Borum Woodley.
Hello, I'm John Satley. I used to be in the business professionally.
My name's Jill, with a J.
And I'm Janet. I'm the youngest. And I'm Janet.
That's incredible. And you were all friends previously. I mean, what a coincidence, right? With your names beginning with a J. With your names beginning with a J.
Oh my goodness, guys! Our names all begin with J.
How have we never noticed that?
Because you haven't typed them out 1,000 times?
You knew? Why didn't you say anything?
I thought we all knew. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? I just thought we were doing a funny thing where we never mentioned it. As well as being friends. In real life as well as in the show.
Well, not exactly.
I'm not married to him. I'm with Janet.
And I'm with John, you lucky bean.
Jim and I are married.
4 fabulous years.
Well, that must make for some confusion in the rehearsal room.
Well, you should have seen the first draft. Jen decided that Jack would play Jim, I would play Jack. Jen, Janet, Jill, Jen, Janet, Jill.
What about John?
Well, my character was originally just called Man 1.
It was allegorical.
It was very confusing.
Not for a professional.
After much doing and throwing.
Man 1.
And gin and tonic.
We decided that we were going to use our own names, whichever.
Oh.
We're also less likely to go into the wrong dressing rooms.
Oh god, yeah, that would be very embarrassing, wouldn't it?
Of course, when I first wrote it, we were only meant to run for a few nights at the Membley Village Hall, but when I registered it with the Department for Culture, it caught the eye of someone high up, and before you could say overnight sensation, we were transferring to the capital.
It's all been a bit of a roller coaster, really. I'm only 19. I'm the youngest.
You really don't have to repeat that.
I had to give up my job as a mortuary technician.
Well, yes, we all had to move to the capital.
It's true, Megan is resembling Jerry more and more.
So peaceful.
I'm trying to remember who's who.
This piece isn't.
Stand by, Alex. Censor the orange.
It's about children and why you shouldn't have them.
In a way, I guess it is political, with a small p. After all, we are a solid unit, and eagle-eyed audience members will see we nod our heads to advance on stage throughout, and we target the messaging at women aged 22, well, about 35, as they're the most likely to be afflicted by this terrible problem. Terrible problem.
Having children.
Well, you understand, Megan.
You clearly agree.
This isn't about me. Of course, we see that there are advantages to a family unit, but eagle-eyed couples watch as the little parasites advance on their lives, and there's no time to play the guitar, get through a book, or watch a movie. They're exhausted, passed out on the couch by 20 to 9, for God's sake.
We're very chatty tonight, dear.
Usually I'm the chatty one. Because
you're the youngest, we know.
No, it's not a badge of honour, Janet.
Janet, please don't. Oh, well said, John. Thanks, Janet. Got you back.
So could you just tell us what is the play about? What happens in it?
Adding Jeremy to this is as another J name. It's like.
Jennifer,
Oh God.
have their child, and then the
As you mentioned, it was like, which one is that? It's like, oh wait, it's the guy.
And there's lots of singing.
And dancing.
A lot.
My character works at a menu centre for a distribution unit. Eagle-eyed, she sees her friend's rapid advance to a pit of despair. Becoming a target for children's TV advertising at the age of 22, she decides to take drastic action. I can't really say more though. I probably said too much already.
Let's not spoil the second act for anyone who might come to theatre.
Which should be all of you. For too long, we've been told that a life without
What?
children is somehow
Oh.
incomplete, that
That's the wrong one.
children are a blessing. Well, I've done the research, and they're not. Besides, there's already loads of bastards running around all over the place, so...
We just want people to have the option of a happy, child-free life without stigma. You know, when I was 14, before I had come out, I had an experience with a girl called Julia Jacobs. She was an experiment, I guess, you know, a chance to dip my toes into the...
Fascinating. Well, thank you all so much for coming in tonight. I really hope you keep them dancing in the aisles for many performances to come. The Nobles there. And I am pleased to say we can now go back to Patrick Bannon to get the latest from the scene of tonight's horrific events. Patrick, are you okay?
Thank you, Megan. This is Patrick Bannon reporting from the scene of tonight's devastating and symbolic attack tonight this evening. An attack which I myself have been found myself caught up in. I'm still a little dazed and a little deaf, Megan. So I hope you'll forgive me if I seem that it's time to speak with the Prime Minister. Mrs. Salisbury, that's you. You're still here. The Prime Minister.
I couldn't leave. Not when there were people that needed help. Any team player would have done the same.
God, Patrick.
I don't deserve praise for being human.
Actually bleeding from the ears.
Bleeding everywhere.
Right.
Eardrum
So,
shot.
is the situation now? Are we safe?
Yes. The security services performed their duties without hesitation, and I would like to assure.
Can't hear a goddamn thing.
Some injuries. There were no civilian deaths.
Blood.
That's good news about the Sorry, did you say no deaths?
That's right. No civilian deaths. Just the four disrupt terrorists curtailed by law enforcement, who were, as always, so cohesive. If I may, I have a message for your viewers.
Of course.
I see some.
Speak
Oh,
there on the camera there.
no comment. No comment.
Stay at home tonight. Do not become another casualty of war.
No comment. No comment.
Disrupt have had
I shan't.
But, as the dear departed Peter Clements once famously said, it ends today.
Thank you.
The ratings are doing pretty good though.
Thank you for those strong words of strength. Back to the studio. Megan, now in the studio with Megan Wolf now.
Patrick Bannon there, bravely reporting from the front line of tonight's horror. I think we need to get you to hospital now. Need to get checked out, Patrick. Well, that brings us to the end of tonight's National Nightly News. Before we go,
Interference.
You have mobilized. You have come together. From our agents at the television networks risking arrest and getting those words to you, to the many hundreds and thousands gathering to invade team headquarters. As I speak, we are turning the tide, and it is time for change. Tonight we topple their regime, and we also silence their mouthpiece, Channel 1. Time to wake up.
out from the shadows, and they are not the overwhelming force they would have you believe. The military have been actioned, and well, it's pretty scary out there tonight. So stay at home and stay with Channel 1, because the team has assured this program turbulence will soon be over, and we can once again focus our
Is it
minds
just
on
me or are they getting closer?
with equality.
I think people are just smoking. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they're barbecuing out there.
Let's make tomorrow better.
Damn it, Alex. Tonight is the beginning of the fall of advance.
What's that orange smoke? I did it. We saved the city.
You did it.
A second charge has hit the TV tower.
My God. You saved the city.
Wow.
Wow.
Broadcast complete, alright.
Yeesh.
That was tricky. My full wages.
The loading tip guy's off today.
Hmm. An important review.
One day. You arrive at work a little early despite a stressful journey in. You still aren't quite sure of everything that happened, though if the swarm of CCOs all over the building takes a go by, this isn't just a Channel 1 matter. This is confirmed when you're informed you need to speak to Bozeman immediately and are escorted to his office.
You sit nervously outside, waiting for your boss.
A few minutes later, the boss man arrives, disheveled and with a stern-looking CCO in tow. Ah yes, Winston. Good. This is Specialist Ables. She'll be observing this interview. Please come inside, take a seat. The ruddy-faced man bustles into his office and leaves the door open for you to follow. The few times you've been here before, it was immaculate with everything in its proper place. Not so today.
It must be serious for Bozeman to be this flustered.
So, Alex, do you know why you're here today? Bozeman's eyes are sharp and his gaze is fixed on your face from across the desk. Abel is standing behind you, out of sight but definitely not out of mind.
This is very... I wouldn't say...
These are little subpar choices.
I assume to do with what happened with Disrupt last night.
What happened last night was nothing short of the culmination of a heinous and outrageous campaign of terror that Disrupt have been reaping on this nation as territories. Bozeman shoots a glance behind you to your left, where your CCO observer is standing. And it is, of course, our duty to root out this fraud, wherever we find it, to prevent anything like last night happening ever again. I have been asked by advance to perform interviews with all staff members involved, and will be submitting a personal review of your performance, both during the incident in question and throughout your time here.
This can only end well.
He shoots you a quick smile. Don't worry, it'll all be fine. Arranging some papers, Bozeman clears his throat and begins. Obviously, a lot happened last night. I have a number of interviews to conduct today, so I'd rather none of them take any longer than necessary. Please be brief, concise, and clear in your answers.
You nod.
So let's start at the beginning of the broadcast and work our way through. After the attack in the memorial, you seem to have portrayed the terrorists in quite a sympathetic way. Why?
These choices are interesting. I did what I felt was right in a very stressful situation.
Yes, of course, and with everything in flux, you weren't to know what would happen next. I'm certain you did the best you could, Alex. You always do. Bozeman scribbles some notes down, the noise of his pen scratching into the notepad punctuated only by the constant tick-tock of his ornate clock.
Hopefully this will all be over soon.
Reviewing the broadcast, we noticed something a little odd about a particular camera choice. It was while everyone else was talking. Oh, where to put it? Ah, yes, here we are. Do you recognize this? With a flourish, Bozeman produces a leaflet from the notice board and places it on the desk in front of you.
I assumed it was just part of the set. Why else would it have been there and on camera?
Well, that makes sense. You aren't responsible for maintaining the set. You can only assume what's there is meant to be after all. You get the feeling at least some of the above was for the benefit of the CCO in the room. Thank you, Alex. And again for Abel's benefit. You're so loyal.
Not exactly subtle there.
Towards the end of the show, there appeared to be some issues with the sensor equipment. At this point, Bozeman pauses for a moment, putting the lid on his pen, placing it carefully on the desk, perpendicular to his notebook. How do you explain the fact you censored perfectly acceptable language during the final segment?
I just do what the display tells me. I don't decide what's supposed to be censored.
I suppose it's certainly possible the machine could have malfunctioned. Much more likely the malfunction of such a competent employee. We'll make sure to have maintenance look at it right away. For the price we paid, I expect it to last at least another 20 years, just like the last one. Bozeman chuckles.
How many questions will you have to answer?
At this point, Bozeman took out a pair of glasses and placed them, somewhat delicately, on the end of his nose. Then the portly man leaned forward to examine his nose in detail. Now, obviously, we expect the odd bit of interference here and there, unavoidable. However, he paused, turning the page at an agonizing pace. Interference is not the same as terrorist propaganda. Would you care to explain how quite so much of their messaging finds way on our airwaves?
Whoops!
Oopsie!
I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. I'm just picking the best excuse options. Is there anything else going on? Let's see. With everything else going on, I just didn't realize until it was too late.
Out of the corner of your eye, you note Specialist Ables is visibly more attentive, awaiting your boss's response. Well, it's certainly true that accidents happen, and with the very stress of last night's broadcast, I don't think anyone could begrudge your slight drop in attention. Bozeman smiles warmly at you as Ables returns to their passive stance.
You offer a strained smile back.
A loud creak breaks the growing silence as Bozeman leans back in his chair. The tape of that poor Miss Brighton. Why do you play it? Help me understand. Why play that tape? As you meet his gaze, you're almost surprised to see an earnest concern in the old man's eyes.
I feel like they've given me this answer choice like twice now. I feel like this is what I don't want to say. I feel like if I could imagine Bozeman's
yeah, it's like
face,
this is definitely gonna be like the fucking police officer gonna T-pose on you.
It's like I can imagine Bozeman just seeing me mouse over this. It's like he just gets more like furrows in his brow. It's like, please do not.
Just like the camera starts zooming in on his face.
Yeah.
Like, please don't pick it. Please don't pick it.
I was worried what Disrupt might do if I didn't play it.
You watch as Bozeman slowly cleans his glasses before answering. Well, at the end of the day, you chose to do it, Alex. I don't know if I'd done the same in your shoes. But I think it's clear enough that you thought it was the right thing to do. That's all we can ask of you. He clears his throat and leans forward again, a smile once again on his face. I believe that's all I had for you anyhow.
Bozeman will remember that. Thank God it's over.
I think that's all the information we need for now, Winston. Bozeman looks questioningly at the CCO, but by the time you turn around, the moment has passed. Best you just go home for now. There's no work for you until we get a new satellite tower up. But of course, don't leave town. I may have more questions for you following the other interviews. As you leave, you see an open hostility in Specialty Able's eyes.
Well, you knew there'd be consequences. Wow. Wow, that's a jump.
Quite the jump. They do have to construct a whole new radio tower.
I wonder if it
broadcast tower.
I wonder if that would take that long. I guess with the complications in the whole area, I guess it would take a long time for materials and all that.
It's your anniversary. A week away could have been just what the doctor ordered for you and Sam, but after speaking to the travel agents, there's just no way you can afford it.
Maybe next year.
Still, just because you can't have a holiday doesn't mean you can't make tonight special. You have the day off today, and so you could try and make a nice romantic meal for them this evening. Although, they did expressly tell you not to bother this morning. You think a cheap last-minute gesture won't change anything, were their exact words.
It'll be nice to have a lovely evening together.
You get to work, turning the house into the perfect romantic setting for tonight. Everything's going according to plan. Sam's gonna love it.
Impatiently, you wait for them to arrive.
Even you and Chris seem to be on the same page for the first time in years. Maybe it's been long enough for them to forgive you, or perhaps they've decided they were unfair to ask you, but either way, they're grateful for the newfound peace. They even helped you clean up the house today, so when Sam gets back from work, it'll be pristine.
Your key's in the lock and put the final touches in place.
As Sam steps into the hallway, you're waiting in the doorway to the kitchen, dressed to the nines and acting as nonchalant as possible. Alex, what's all this? Oh my god, did you clean? And what's that smell? They give you a quick kiss as they step past you into the kitchen, where a banquet is laid out, candles lit, with Chris and Charlie standing quietly, grinning. Oh my god, Alex.
Happy anniversary, Sam.
Happy anniversary! Comes with the chorus from your two cheerleaders as Sam turns to you, smiling with tears in their eyes. Alex is perfect. Sam rushes over and kisses you softly, only breaking off when you get a less than subtle call from Charlie. My band have their first gig this weekend, Charlie blurts out. And that's our cue. Come on, Charlie, time for us to go. Have fun, you two.
Chris, thank you. Sincerely.
You're welcome. Now I should go get our own dinner. You can grill Charlie when he's back. Tomorrow. As in, not tonight. See ya. With a wink, they finish ushering Charlie out of the house.
You pulled Sam's chair out for them.
Yeah, you know what? After losing your freaking daughter to the nuclear explosion, I think of it like even the most jerk-ass former rich guy relative has got to be like, yeah, no, these guys have been going through a bit.
Yeah.
Why, thank you, Sam says, taking a seat and grinning at you. So Charlie's been busy. They shake their head as you take your own seat opposite them. Tomorrow, for now. You really didn't have to do all this, Alex.
I know. I wanted to. I love you, Sam.
I love you too, they breathe, admiring the panoply of food you've prepared for them. Now where on earth do I begin? They laugh as you pour the first glass of champagne of the evening. You're very lucky to have such a wonderful family.
Who could ask for more? They will surely be staying with you for the rest of this story.
Surely.
Nothing bad will happen to them.
Nothing bad could happen.
A job down. That's...
Everything's ready. You and Sam have been trying to watch Bullet Man for years, but you missed it in the cinemas and never seemed to be in stock when one of you went to pick up the VHS.
Oh wow.
Now you're just waiting for them to get home so you can start. You hear the front door open as you put a bowl of popcorn on the coffee table.
We're all ready to go. Get your butt in here.
Sam comes in with a vacant stare, ignoring both film and snacks. They sit down next to you. You have to actually nudge them to break their stupor.
Sam, what is it?
I've just been let go from work. Sam is just staring into space. Apparently there just isn't a need for 2 nursery teachers anymore. Not enough children, so they can't justify the expense.
Honey, I'm so sorry. It'll be okay. You'll find another place.
No, you don't get it. There just isn't that demand for younger years teachers anymore. Not just here, anywhere. I don't know what I'm gonna do. What we're gonna do. You pull Sam into a hug.
I know things are tough, but we'll think of something.
How's Alex? How, Alex? We're barely scraping by as it is, and now... Sam starts to sob. We're gonna have to sell the house. I can't see any other option. We've got too many debts to pay.
If that's what we have to do, fine. It's only the 2 of us living here now anyway.
Oh yeah, it's been quite some time, so... Charlie might be like... Well, like your son might actually be old enough to get a job or whatever.
Yeah.
I suppose you're right. Still, I hate the idea of losing this place. Think of everything that's happened here, Alex. They fall silent thinking. Eventually, you start the film, but neither of your hearts are in it. Too busy thinking about the future. Still, a house isn't everything. It's the people who make it a home.
Home is where the heart is, after all. Move out of the family home. Wow.
Oh, big jump. Almost another year.
Oh, I just realized the panel here. There's some stuff on here.
Oh yeah.
The sterility. 3 years since the uprising.
Hello, Alex. Here we are again. I know things aren't as exciting as they used to be, but Advance's Bring Your Daughter to Work Day initiative should add a bit of spice to the mix.
Oh, that thing's torn off. Sure wish I had a daughter to bring the work.
Right.
Nah. Guess I have to play all of this.
Yeah, looks like that's all you got.
Which tells the inspirational story of Emily Dennisworth and the brave doctors and technicians.
And this is Jenny. She's the floor manager.
Hi, Stacey.
That's Colin. He too much. Don't talk to Colin.
Not getting involved and bring your daughter to work, eh, Colin?
Nah, we don't believe in it.
All right, come and sit next to Mum.
Believe in what?
Just days.
How did it all go so right? That's followed by the territory.
Atta girl.
Advanced briefing.
10 seconds, everybody.
Now
Monday's a myth.
That explains so much. Okay, we are going in 5, 4, 3.
As we go over to Megan and the team.
Good evening and welcome to the NNN. I'm Megan Wolf and who's
Oh,
this? You might be wondering.
I just noticed the whole system looks updated now. Like it's cleaner.
Joined tonight by my foster daughter, Stacey. Say hello, Stacey.
Oh, nice. New TV tower.
Right then, here are the stories that matter to you.
It looks more modern now, I guess.
With Advance confirming that the nuclear fallout from the 20-week war is to blame for the drop in birth rates across the territories, we asked you what keeps you going. I know that I, for one, was quite deflated when I heard about this, but reading all your submissions has really put the smile back on my face.
Even the building looks like newer.
This is from Drew in Humberset. To take our minds off things, me and my partner have been building this house for our hamster. It really does distract us from thinking about the 85% sterility rate.
85% sterility rate.
Loft conversion and a holiday home. Thank
Did
you for
it
that.
say no, not enough children?
Hobby. Do write in.
Yeah,
and
right?
Tell us about it. Next up, you know how we love your uncanny comestible coincidences, and I don't know about you, but I think this one really takes the biscuit.
The nightmarish bread.
Not sure what I'm more impressed by, Stacey. The things our viewers spot, or the unbelievable way our menu centre.
God, she looks miserable.
She's just drooling.
Every single day. Catherine from Berkeldown sent us this, saying, I couldn't help but spot the face of poor
My
departed
pint.
Peter Clement in my 4th lager this morning.
Fourth lager.
Catherine, but then again, I'm only on my 3rd. Do keep those coming in.
Oh god, are they just drinking to get through the day now?
Yeah.
More of your stories. This one is an inspiring story of rehabilitation. That's it. Just tell us who it's from. Yeah, and then read it out. Okay.
So this one says it's from John in Stokely. Before I was convicted, I'd never read a single book, but since I was released from Betterman, I haven't been able to stop. I'm even working at a library, and on our lunch breaks, Mr. Wordyworth spell checks my tattoos.
We absolutely love hearing the way our neighbours and team members have been able to become better people. So do let us know your story.
Gosh, she's so sick of existing here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do think it's funny that it's like, this is obviously just another like adult actress, but they've had to dress her up so that she looks like an adolescent.
Yeah.
Let us know your stories here at the NNN.
Right, bit of a change of pace coming up here. pilots have already selected when and what to use. Simple stuff. Just follow your government orders.
Oh, the whole fucking system has been...
First up tonight
Huh?
on the NNN, it's time to team
Oh, because like the intros and everything are different too.
Yeah.
capital. We're going to hand over to Julia Salisbury.
I guess enough time has passed.
Much of her either, eh, Stacey?
She's got a lot more going for her than you wankers.
Okay. Surprising vote of approval there from Stacey. Let's go live to that right now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's Team Awards. Of all the many duties I have as team leader, this is by far the most pleasant. As I so often say to you, the uneven path is now, following the demise of Disrupt, firmly behind us.
I can't pick the others, I think.
Yeah.
And I say to you,
They really overhauled your system here.
There is no free will.
to be joined here tonight by one of the oldest people in Territory 1. He was born over 107 years ago. Please give a warm team welcome.
Us talking about Hakama.
Patch Badger! So, Alfie, you must have seen so much in your lifetime. What have been some of the highlights?
Oh.
Alfie? Alfie? Is he all right? Is he all right?
His hearing aid isn't turned on.
Oh, could you turn it on?
He says it drains the battery.
Well, will you tell him that we'll buy him a brand new battery after the presentation?
Yeah, he says that's fine then. Yeah, he says that's fine then. And I will.
Oh, turn it on!
If you would. Sorry, can't get the staff.
We got it.
So, Alfie. What? You're 107 years old.
Oh, don't bloody remind me.
Would you like to tell the audience what that's like?
Where is everybody?
Out there, in the dark. Oh, bless him, it's not just the ears.
Who are you? 2 sugars, please.
I'm Julia Salisbury, the Prime Minister.
I love this story. Who are you really?
No, I really am the Prime Minister.
Oh, so you're a
woman.
Yeah, a woman. One of
Women can do anything men can do these days, Alfie.
Oh my god, this feels so forced. They even forced the timing for you.
I can't say I've ever tried.
No, I didn't think so. 2 sugars, please, and not too much milk.
Shall we get to the awards, Alfie?
Well, are you going to ask me about my life?
Well, I'm not sure we have enough time left now for that. So
When I was 9, I wanted a pet, so I asked me mum and pap.
You want to rip Julia's scalp off.
You know, we made our own to entertain.
I feel that.
Without a cold and roadkill.
Well, that's fascinating.
So they got me a pet, see? But it weren't a dog. They told me it were a dog, but it were a stone.
A stone?
Yes. So I called it Patch, which was a popular name for a dog back then, on account of the king having a patchy face. And I decided to introduce him to pretty little Gertie Thimble, who lived up the road.
Oh, how romantic.
She threw my dog in the river. That was the day I decided I'd never marry.
And that's the secret to your long life?
Oh no, I've been married 7 times. Divorced 8. There was a mix-up with number 3, see? Yes, I'm just lucky.
There was a mix-up, so you managed to divorce one person twice.
Soon, Alfie. First, let's turn to the reason we're all here. The weekly Territory 1 Team Awards. First up tonight is a lady who really knows how to put in the extra hours. She works at a transition centre in Hamble Bamblebury, and she has single-handedly allowed more families to unburden each other than any other nurse in Territory 1. In the uneven parts, she'd have been locked up. Tonight,
This feels so gut-wrenching. I can't influence things anymore.
Daphne Snister.
I can't ruin the program.
Well, Alfie, there's a good boy.
Look at her just flipping the camera off.
And don't let it steep too long.
I think you're supposed to give me one of those.
Well,
There he goes, look.
I can't get the arms up any higher than that. You'll have to go down, Mum.
Thank God those fractious times are behind us, and now the territories are
You know what?
Are we in?
You don't get anything.
Said to the bishop.
Yes, thank you.
This is still my free choice. I can choose not to play it. That's the only thing I can do.
Well done. Daphne Snister, everybody. Now, open your envelope and find out what you've won. Crikey, don't hold back there. She's tougher than one of Peter's homemade Eccles cakes.
Got it.
No laughter for you.
I've won a holiday for two in Territory 15.
In District 15.
We called San Palmerino, didn't it?
I believe it did, yes.
Why couldn't we have stuck with that then? It's easier to remember.
We're all
Oh,
one nation
whatever.
now.
Hang on a minute. Isn't it still on fire?
Daphne Snister, everyone.
Oh, what about my change? I've been in these wide fronts for 3 days now.
We'll get to that, Alfie.
Oh, right you are, love.
Next up tonight is a couple from Farnley who, after a rocky start losing their family's ill-gotten gains to the Assets and Wealth Act, have really embraced the new future, setting up a community farm and petting zoo in their local area for all the local children to play. Please welcome Otho and Lobelia Jackson Randiganis. Medals, Alfie.
You know, when I was in...
Alfie is my next favorite character.
He was from way up north. Didn't understand a bloody word he said. But he were my best mate.
When I was told to start a war,
And his
I was like, of course. We have to blow up the old corporation.
Unstable Terry, and of course, Leggy Sydney. She were a girl. But she had a boy's name, so they shipped her to the front anyway. First girl any of us has ever seen close up. She's dead now. They all are. Smudger and Scotty never made it home. He got shanked in Frankfurt prison in an argument over an olive. And Terry, he exploded quietly at home.
Exploded quietly.
Skin condition. Scratched herself to death. Just makes you think.
You sewed?
Yo! He scratched himself to death.
After we lost all our wealth, we discovered there were actually people who had never even owned a pony. So we decided to do something about it. That's the type of people we are, you see. Advantage of a private education, probably.
Well, I'm sure we can debate that all night, but there's no time. So, let's see what you've won.
Yes, but before we do, there's something I wanted to say to you.
Oh, absolutely. Every citizen of the new future has my ear.
Good. When Advance came to power, you took all of our wealth. You took the shirts off of our backs.
Quite literally, in my case, I used to collect shirts.
I remember this.
You might as well have the rest of it, too.
Oh.
God, not again. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Pennies and the news are not good bedfellows. Keep those flappy bits off my channel, Alex.
And better. And you are?
Good luck.
It isn't right and it isn't fair.
You tell him, girl. That's my wife, you know. Only you don't.
You can't mix pearls with swine. It isn't right. We used to have 3 horses sent into
as the actress said to the bishop. Oh, here we go again. Hello, Alfie Tadge Badger. Pleased to meet you.
Stop them!
Oh, don't worry, love. I'll protect you. Oh, oh.
The beggar won't know what he knows.
He's 107 years old, man.
When I was in my 20s, and we
He's one of the more decent people on here.
hard at shining on sea and watch all the pretty girls on the beach. Everything was black and white then, of course. We'd visit the Penny Arcade and try to win a block of lard. The family. You couldn't buy lard.
The fucking cameras.
You had to win it. Oh.
Oh my god.
Boys were boys, girls were girls.
They're just beating the shit. It's like a video game crowbarring animation.
Yeah.
You hear the music, the pipe organ, drifting over the nearby fields. My mum used to call it the most magical sound in the world. This was before she lost her hearing after giving a particularly loud round of applause. Did you ever go to
The giblets now.
What's that, Alfie?
Says Mitt.
Just the tea, Pet.
Well, that was an unexpected dose of naked nostalgia. Some people simply can't let go of the past. That's why I look in joy and fervent admiration at the younger generation. So cohesive, such a team. And with fertility falling throughout the territories, we should value our fabulous new generation now more than ever. Our final winner tonight is a go-getter who really went and got him, helping to root out more than 170 Disrupt collaborators in his own neighborhood. Since then, he's gone on to be a senior cohesion cadet leader and organised all of the entertainment at last year's Camp Cooperation. Our final winner tonight, Edwin Neverley.
Oh, Alfie Tadge Badger.
You should be in a transition centre, you old nonk. Prime Minister.
I hate this guy.
It's an absolute pleasure to finally meet you. We're very similar, in my opinion.
Well, I've never been much of a role model.
Nonsense. Prime Minister, you have saved this country. You have fought enemies, foreign and domestic, with an iron fist. As with my own tiny fists have I.
Well, let's open the envelope and find out what you've won. Maybe it'll be a fist enlargement.
A year's internship as a behaviour coach at Betterment. It's just what I've always wanted. Let's show the fools where they went wrong, eh?
Well, actually, Betterment is about rehabilitation, Edwin.
Absolutely. And if they don't reintegrate, we retaliate. Just like you did on Liberation Night. Thank you for this award. And stay vigilant. Report the non-cohesives. Be a team player.
That concludes tonight's awards. Join me next week when, hopefully, things will be a lot more normal. Back to you, Megan.
Prime Minister Salisbury there at a highly eventful team awards ceremony. Any thoughts on this week's winners, Stacey?
The nurse was fucking scary, the pretties were saggy, and that little prick will never lose his virginity. Will never lose his virginity.
I am nothing like you, Edwin. I am nothing like you. Clearly haven't understood a thing.
The star-studded premiere. You won't believe who's on the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back. On the red carpet tonight. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back. And we're out.
Oh, Alex, one other... What's that? You're off already? I know you had to take the day off work for Junior, but... Oh, I see. No luck still with Theodore.
Mother?
I'm so sorry, darling.
Oh, 2 sugars.
Of course.
Please, love.
I'll speak to you later. Oh, Alex. Completely forgot what I was going to say. Blast it all. Still, I'm lucky to have her.
Control into some kind of tragic comic disaster.
Yeah, that. It's just like having him back in the chair.
Do you reckon he's watching us somewhere? Laughing. I think he is.
Jeremy, are you watching us?
Are you receiving us?
Are you fucking with us?
Oh, right. So she can swear.
I don't know what year it is now.
That's a good question.
I just realized. I didn't, because I was focused on everything else. I just realized the advanced like symbol on here. I noticed everything else except that.
So, Patrick and Robin are just going to grab who they can, and then you've got these generic links on the autocue.
This truly is a dystopia.
I do know I have a Queen's View degree in journalism.
Bet you wish you'd studied something useful now, eh?
All this bring your daughter to work day. What a joke.
Where is our honoured guest?
I don't know, she's probably sniffing around that boy band, Hotspot.
Heat Rash. Hotspot won it last year.
Heat Rash. Oh God, they're running out of names, aren't they?
I hear the computer comes up with them, the songs too. Ah, there she is, and just in time too. That's 10 seconds, everybody.
Advance is everywhere. This sucks.
And we are going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. Stacey's still here.
Wishing she wasn't.
And in this segment, we're delighted to have sent Robin and Patrick to the movies. Yes, tonight is the world premiere of The Automated, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch and the late great Helena Canterbury Boatshoe. And all the stars are out tonight. We first covered this film almost 5 years ago, back when it was called The Medicated. Then, for mysterious reasons, the film was suddenly pulled the night before its release. Well, since then, executive producer George Focus has spent 5 long years polishing the film and turning it into a special edition and premiering tonight. With extensive state-of-the-art visual effects and a top-quality voice team, George says it's the movie he always wanted to make. Now, let's take a look at it.
I remember this. Oh.
Deconstruct it. Captain? I can't deconstruct it. Robots!
Is this a wig?
You think I don't grow that?
No, Dick, I'll kill you. Think of Saturn.
There's something on your face, Chief Harrison!
I love the really shitty VFX.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Quasar.
But you're just ones and zeros, baby. If only I'd noticed.
Captain Quasar.
You rusted, but I didn't notice.
Captain.
I'm buffering, chick, you said.
Got one on you.
God damn it, lost it all!
Here's a map.
What's a map? Okay, so head north on Interstellar Avenue, left at the asteroid belt, and a tricky 3-point turn at Uranus. What are these symbols? This corner. This is the key.
We could shut it down.
Yes, we could shut it down. But we have to ask ourselves, who are we?
Oh.
Gosh, thrilling stuff. What did you think, Stacey?
The robots were alright, I guess.
They certainly were. Let's go over to Robin Short now in Western Square, who I believe has got the star of the show. Robin.
Right, you, shall we?
Yes, we are live from Western Square with a man who needs no introduction, Lawrence Blunderclatch. How has your evening been so far?
Magical. Absolutely magical. My most dear friends all gathered here to celebrate my work. One really couldn't ask for much more, could one?
Well, on that note, with award season just around the corner, are you hoping to add to your collection for a 3rd time?
Well, I really couldn't say. But if the association deigned to honour me for a 4th time, so be it. It's really not for me to say. But let's just say that I know of 3 little gold men who are getting rather lonely.
Absolutely.
Because I've won 3 little awards.
And each more deserved than the last. Well, it's safe to say that your career has gone supersonic in the last couple of years. How's that been?
Well, as I was saying to Stephen only yesterday, that's Stephen Spellman. The Stephen Spellman. Lovely chap. I mean, unbelievable mind. I said, Stephen, you know, this really has been quite the ride. Did you know what he said? He agreed with me.
Wow! And what do you attribute your success to?
Well, if we're talking actual numbers, I'd have to say 60% talent, 30% looks, and 10% passion, brackets general. Not to mention the incredible coverage on election night. That really was the start of it all. That and my own range of sick bags. Lawrence's
These are getting really long now.
Wow, who could forget? Well,
yeah.
It's been a delight talking to you, as always. Thank you so much.
Gonna have a bit of chips and mute.
Patrick Bannon should be with
You should crunch the chips into the mic just for Jeremy.
Patrick! Thank you, Robin. Let's hope not. I'm actually joined here by...
Billy Bob Jean Short. And surely you recognize my youngest, pop sensation, Lil D. Her Lil C covers album drops next week.
Actually, we weren't expecting Lil C. Is
Again?
She's around. She's not been feeling very well. She's put me in charge.
Has she?
Well, the courts have. They gave me stewardship over her estate, her finances, and her internal soul. Praise Craglar!
Praise Craglar. Wow. But is she coming just because we've got some questions for her?
Well, she might be along later, but as her legal and spiritual guardian, I'll be happy to answer all and any questions on her behalf.
And Lil D, was it? Well, you look great.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I feel great.
Well, who are you wearing?
I'm wearing Little C, and you could be too.
Really?
Little C's new line launches tonight. This is one of my favourite looks. It's called... Ah!
Oh, what a unique name!
Hard to spell, though.
But of course, Lil C is basically fashion royalty now, with a veritable clothing empire to her name.
Yeah, well, the label's gone from strength to strength since our initial TV launch on this very show, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So really, we have all you to thank for all this. You know, this hat cost more than my second jet. Feel that? Feel that?
Yes, it's a nice hat.
Person.
And Forbes magazine has named me the youngest self-made success story ever.
And do you have any advice for anyone wanting to follow in your footsteps?
Absolutely. All you need to succeed on your own is your family's financial backing and pre-existing fame. It's not rocket science, people.
Oh, well, but in sadder news, am I right that Lil C is going to be retiring from music?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I'm sure you can imagine. At 25, she's far too old for pop music now. She can't keep up with these young stars. So her best of album is out now, and she's touring that later this year. And then her farewell tour the year after that, and that's her last chance to see her. So until the reunion tour, and then the classic tour after that. But it's been a long and varied career, as you can imagine. She's very, very proud of herself.
Oh, and if her health's bad, then maybe it's for the best.
What's wrong with her health? Oh, yes, her health. Her poor health. And it's surprisingly expensive treatments. Curse you, Zaytan! Damn your intergalactic justice!
Oh, yeah. Well, we better be letting
That was long.
Those babies aren't going to sell themselves. Oh.
Also, I realized
Billy Bob, Lil C.
that looks awfully lot like a camera in the top right.
So much for joining me, and do pass our best wishes to Lil C.
Who?
Oh, you're right.
Now it looks like Robin is with a music legend who
It
actually
doesn't
is irreplaceable.
look
Is that who I think
like
it is,
speakers. Well, I guess it does a little bit, but there's like a lens over it.
That depends. Can you get the one in blue?
You know, I like to walk amongst the peoples every now and then. It makes them feel close to me.
Right, yes.
And to be close.
It's true. Patrick in the zoo looks great.
And to be human. Is to be apart. Oh, that was good. Write that down. Rachel, write that one down.
It's good to see you've done so well for yourself.
Thank you, my child. You know, I have you to thank for that. If it was never for your show supporting me and my music, I never would have transcended.
Now, there are rumours going around that you might be running for office. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, that's absolutely true, yeah.
But you're aware that elections have been suspended in the territories?
No, I'm not running to be no Prime Minister.
Oh, you're not?
No. I'm gonna be King of the Moon.
King of the Moon? No, sorry. You're running for King of the Moon?
I'm gonna be King of the Moon.
Not running. It's my birthright.
And does this have anything to do with promoting your upcoming hip opera, Jason Space?
Hush now. Cynicism is so unmoon.
Okay. And how long will this last? Will it go the way of last year's Living as a Mouse fiasco? Or maybe your
Living as a mouse.
ventriloquist beats?
I don't make the moon rules. I merely live by them.
So, are you looking forward to seeing The Automated?
You know, I don't believe in film. How shall I keep thine image still unholy? That's track 4, Jesus Christ Megastar.
Okay, thank you
Nice.
for your time, and good luck with your new life in space.
And with you, my child.
Well, Megan, that's what success looks like. I'm gonna see if we can grab someone else to have a chat. Back to you.
Thanks, Robin. But I think Stacey and I are probably in quite enough trouble where we are. So, 3 big names there, Stacey.
Yeah, big names.
Any thoughts about them, maybe from your generation's perspective?
You won't like my opinions.
Oh, go on, try me.
Well, Bumbanonk is so old he's like 1 week away from a transition centre, so who cares? And Lil C was cool when I was like 12 or something, but now she's just another fucking loony. And Jesus is a disrupt-loving wanker who should have died with the rest of them 3 years ago.
You're right.
You agree with me?
No, you're right, I don't like your opinions. But thankfully, we can go back to Patrick now, who has another familiar face to catch up with. Oh, Patrick!
It's absolutely electric, Megan. I can't quite believe it either, but he's here. It's Crazy Neil.
Hey!
Yo!
Oh, how you doing?
Neil,
Crazy
I
Neil.
love you. They've really connected with your ads over the years. What's it like suddenly being so popular?
It's crazy. People stop me in the streets, they expose themselves, they write me threatening letters. You know, the stalker has become the stalky. A real taste of Neil's own medicine, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and what's been the most challenging thing?
I love Neil.
It's places like this, you know, being around actors and rock stars. They're real crazy.
Neil's great.
And Crazy
I've
Neil
seen in like in the first one that I've seen of this, they didn't show very many like Neil ads, so he was like destitute.
Oh.
He was like homeless.
Oh no. We did this.
We got crazy deals on chairs. You ever
Oh my god.
No, I can't say that I have.
Makes a mess of the carpet. But what do you say? We got a deal?
Well,
what about Betty Andrews' handbag? It's real leather. It's real cheap. And it even contains our heart medicine. Spicy.
No, really.
You've got the chair. You've got the bag. You're really busting my balls. What can I do to convince you? Let me throw in my wife, Mrs. Neil. It's the latest model. Not a scratch on her.
Hello?
Purrs like a charm. What do you say? We got a deal.
Look, I can't take your wife.
Yes, you can. I got loads of them. Come on down to Crazy Deals. We
Hello?
got crazy deals on chairs. We got crazy deals on meals. We got crazy deals on wheels. We got wheels on meals. Meals on wheels. We've even got endangered seals. And we got meals with endangered seals. Yeah!
Thank you,
Good luck, Patrick.
Neil. Well, it's always a dream come true to meet a hero. How about that, Megan? The man himself. Aren't we lucky?
I mean, Patrick is really living it up now.
What a colourful interview there on what looks like an amazing night. They certainly know how
Meet
to
Neil
make
at the red carpet.
I hope. And the automated
crazy deal from
really
Crazy
does seem
Neil.
to have unstoppable written all over it, because despite
So
Boris
true.
Corsi in Hours magazine calling it Lawrence Blunderclatch's overly long suicide note, in a review which ends with the words, "and he hasn't even had the decency to see it through," the film, which is free to all residents of the territories, has seen record pre-bookings and looks set to run for months and months. But let's go back to those lucky few seeing it tonight. Oh, I'm so jealous. Robin, you seen anything unusual there?
Thanks, Megan. Well, will you settle for the territory's most eligible bachelor? 5 years ago, Steve Saxon was an unknown. Then a series of incredible performances in acclaimed productions, from Hamlet's Jam to the curious rise of Algernon Ding Dong, made him the most wanted man in drama. He's been voted sexiest man under 25 for 3 successive years. Now, let's see if he'll talk to the NNN. Excuse me, Mr. Saxon. Steve, have you got a moment to spare to talk to the NNN?
Oh, hi, the NNN. You know, your show gave me my first chance at an audience. The raw me, Steve 1.0.
I remember. Even then, everyone could see there was something so special about you. The whole thing is burned into my mind.
A moment is the very least I can give your amazing viewers in return.
Not that we're actually going anywhere. Where is she?
Are you going to introduce us to your date?
But of course, this
I'm
is...
Charlotte Winstanley Hamilton. I was in Hey Friendship too. You know, that scene you burned into your mind. I was in that.
No. Sorry. Don't remember you at all. Are you sure you were in that?
Yes, I was the pretty one. Tell her, Steve.
Looks are really important.
Well, if you say so, Steve. So, it's been a big year for you. I believe you've been tackling The Bard.
Yeah, so I've been working with an enfant terrible called Quentin Sucker Punch. We've been doing all the Shakespeares.
Crikey, all of them?
Yeah, so we shoot one a week. I play all the parts, so I learn them at the weekend and then we shoot them naked in his steam room. The lighting in there is really good.
Sorry, did you say naked?
Yes, well, he is. I'm in a variety of hats. It's an old theatrical tradition.
I had a single out. It was called Look at Me.
And you did that advert, didn't you, babe?
Is that your dental floss?
And the sex tape, of course.
Steve! I don't like to talk about that. Although apparently it's available for $11.99 everywhere. Just ask your newsagent.
So, what is your favourite Shakespeare play then, Steve?
Ooh, I like the wordy one.
It's starting soon. I'm going to miss the trailers, and we haven't even got any popcorn yet.
She'll be here.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late, guys. What took you so long? There was an injured pigeon. I'll explain on the way in.
Now, of course, I remember you from that legendary first appearance.
Really? Her too?
You were such a serious little thing. You had that horrible sister.
Yes, that was me. I'm the horrible sister.
Don't be so hard on yourself, babe. Looks are really important.
Thanks, Steve.
So, what have you been up to, Harriet?
Actually, last year I was overseas bringing art to the starving children from outside the territories. They may not have food, but they can still have Commedia.
Good for you.
And now I'm in an experimental physical theatre piece about the existential angst of Wicker.
Amazing. So artsy.
We do it above a pub on Thursdays.
I was also the girl who got murdered in the bath in Night Slasher 3.
Haven't seen it.
But she was brilliant.
Thanks, Steve.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve.
I think it's starting soon and I really need a tinkle.
Oh my god, you need the loo now. We're going to completely miss the trailers. You were so selfish. Sorry.
We've got to go.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for talking with us and enjoy the movie.
Oof.
Thanks. Love the NNN.
I love you guys.
This is training for doing the frequency things, all right?
Megan, I can't believe that. Steve Saxon, Harriet Winstanley Hamilton, and someone else, can't remember her name for the life of me. I'm too starstruck, if I'm honest. I think I've just come. Back to you, Megan.
Excuse me?
And enjoy the movie. The Automated opens in cinemas across the territories this weekend. What a star-studded event, eh, Stacey?
Who cares?
I can't imagine like having to read that line out on stage.
Yeah.
I still go to
Just like stoically.
Oh wait, what? Oh
Like the
fuck.
one at the home.
Advert.
Yeah, I've got a video recorder. It's just not the same, is it?
You're right, it's better. No unevens chatting and chewing all the way through.
Oh, what about a kiss and cuddle on the back row? Doesn't that happen anymore?
In public?
Oh, okay. Looking with lighting. Yeah, this seems to be speakers, but that one on the side, it looks like a camera, but I guess could be also a speaker.
Gotta get set up
But
for
another
heat
smaller
rush.
one.
I think Ronnie's on something. I know he is. It was on his rider. Apparently it's medicinal.
Ronnie's always high. Give him orange juice.
My God, she speaks.
He's a stupid cunt.
And just like that, you wish she wouldn't. We seem to be a bit bunched up at this end.
Oh, don't worry. It's Soko.
It's what now?
It's
Oh, here's Megan. She's going to be interviewing you.
Hello.
Hi. This is her. This is Stacey.
Well, hello there, Stacey.
Fuck off, Ronnie. Right. No, I'm sorry, but if we can't be polite, you're going to have to wait in the dressing room.
Whatever.
Do you want to go and wait in the dressing room? Hmm?
No.
No what?
No. Thank you.
Okay. And sit up straight. You're ruining my shot. That's 10 seconds, everybody.
Noko.
Fucking right, Noko.
What's that? What's no? Bring in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back. For our final segment tonight, Stacey and I are delighted to be joined by Heat Rash. Their new album, Girls and Why We Love Them All, comes out this weekend. So, let me see if I can get this right. It's Nolan.
I write the songs.
Ronnie.
That's what it says on my tattoo.
Yeah,
Oh, you got a tattoo?
you can kind of tell by looking at the arrow
In
at
case
the
he
top
forgets
corner.
Arrow at the top. Where? Oh yeah. I
You can see it's turning a little bit red.
It's because of this ugly old.
That means that you gotta change off the cam.
God, you're so fucking
I see.
embarrassing. Dale. Crikey, Dale, you do not look
Ideally, you don't need it, but it's good to like.
I'm actually 23.
Yeah. It's just swapping cameras like a lot more rapidly than I thought.
Yeah, so if basically like if you can see it like turns a little bit red, that's warning you that you should probably change cameras.
I see.
Or fix something else going on.
Aren't you, boys? And you must be TP. What does TP stand for?
Tiny prick.
It stands for team player.
I see. How long have you had that nickname?
Ever since Nolan decided Terry Prodance was a shit name for a member of a boy band.
Noko, Ronnie.
Yeah, Noko, Ronnie.
Sorry, what does no-co mean?
Ah, it's the opposite of Soko.
Ah.
Fuck's sake. Soko.
Yeah.
So cohesive. You pretees say cool.
Right, okay. Thank you, Stacey.
Sorry about her.
Not your fault. She's uneven.
So, you guys met through a popular show on one of our rival channels, didn't you?
Yeah, team players with a Z.
So, how did that work then?
Well, actually, Dale and I knew each other from school. We were actually classmates. And
Fuck's sake, Nolan, mate. Give someone else a chance. We all went on team players. We all auditioned. The judges put us into bands. And, yeah, we went to their houses and they just put us into bands.
It's an example of how we're greater than the sum of our parts when we work in harmony.
And occasionally singing it.
So every week on the show, they get these bands and they give them a song that the producer just found from under the bin somewhere.
Actually, I write the songs.
And the public would phone in and decide which song they like best.
Right, and then the losers would be eliminated. Yeah? Mum. What?
Noko. Pretty. So Noko.
The band who get the most approval get to play their song again.
Sure. So what happens to the losers then?
Mum.
What do I keep doing wrong?
We don't use the L word anymore.
You mean losers?
Would you please stop saying that? That word is a pejorative. It's a word designed to diminish. At Go Getters, I learned very early that we only win when everybody wins.
But, sorry, that's not real life, is it? That's just sports board, no?
I thought you were Soko.
Yeah, I am Soko.
Nah, you're a shrinker. Can't be friends with shrinkers.
She doesn't know what you're talking about. She doesn't understand.
So I do understand, actually, Stacey.
What's a shrinker?
Well, a shrinker.
What's a preteen, Mum?
Well, I think it means someone who's older, doesn't it?
Pre-territories.
It's someone who turned 18 before the new future. We call you pretees.
Unevens.
Mimis. Nonks.
It's not her fault she's old. She can't help it. I'm not
that old.
I'm trying to help you here.
I don't think
Poor
I need your
Megan,
help.
she's getting okay
Yeah.
boomered.
Literally.
Is that so?
Okay, pretty.
Yes, obviously.
You know what the real problem with you lot is? You just can't get over the fact that your beloved Disrupt are gone and you just don't fit in anymore. But the truth is, Disrupt were violent, no-co pricks being led by a fucking psycho. I'm glad they lost, and you should be too.
Listen, not everyone over 30 supported Disrupt, Stacey.
Not everyone, no, but one fuck-off lot of you did.
SoCo, Stacey. SoCo.
We've all learned maybe a little bit more than we expected to there.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of different games and series and stuff like that try to make up like new slang. These ones actually do sound kind of convincing.
From Girls
Yeah.
I Love Them All, called Pieces of My Heart, which is about a
Because
real
I mean,
relationship I
you
had with
can't
an actual
fucking
girl.
convince me
mate, no
that
press.
anyone would
Go on,
start
go
calling
on,
their
the
friends
schools,
chooms.
I feel like I can see it starting as an ironic thing, and then it just becomes the full bit. The bit becomes real. That's the only way I can
but
see it
it's like,
happening.
I couldn't, like, even if it's like a thing that used to be ironic and then becomes real, I
Oh,
couldn't see anybody using it like emotionally, you know?
My choom.
So,
It would be like
are
going
with
like
their
my
latest
home
single,
slice
Pieces of My
emotionally, you know?
Are you excited, Stacey?
I miss you, choom.
Only listen to and a bit of jizz
Like,
core.
I'm gonna miss you, home slice. Yeah, right, you know?
Apparently, these newfangled boy bands change singer all the bloody time. Try and follow along, eh? Keep the shot on whoever is currently singing the lead.
All right.
Alright, good luck. Yeah, I think this might be one where it's more important to get it onto the singer than with the beat.
Yeah.
Push and grabbed a vodka and stank. Took our assets and our wealth and drew them out of the bag. I gave you little pieces of my heart. I didn't know two hearts could ever feel like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington's fist. I take all of the loves that didn't last and leave them in the uneven past. Share the new future as my bride. You snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times that you cried. As my old man used to say, you blow me away. I just want you to stay. I don't want you to pay. You make me crazier than Neil today. On Liberation Night, girl, I was sitting beside you. We sat there shaking all the way through incisors. We held each other as things fell apart. We took a train through all the territories and we threw away the rules and wrote our personal stories. You took a dozen pieces of my heart. I didn't know that life could ever feel like this, girl. It's like you were custom made for me by Remington's fist. I take all of the loves that didn't last. I leave them there, the uneven.
All right. I've built up meter. Never mind.
Snatch me inside. There's no need to hide all the times you have cried. As my old mom used to say, blow me away.
of luck. Thank you for coming in. Now it's almost time for final thoughts tonight. And I've actually asked Stacey to write a few, and they're just being programmed onto the auto cue now. Now, I have no idea what she's going to say. So, fingers on that bleep button in the broadcast room, just in case. Take it away, Stacey.
My name is Stacey. I guess you know that by now. Don't know why I put that in there. Anyway. I don't watch the news. There's no need. You hear all the important stuff from your mates, so I don't know what's considered important anymore. But I'm pretty sure that it's not rehashed movies and fucking boy bands, so anyway. I'm going to talk about what's important to me. When Advance were first elected 6 years ago, I was 9 and in a home. Not a family home like you call a home. This was a state children's home. It was fucking awful, actually. It was like a Charles Dickens book. The roof leaked and the walls were damp some mornings. The food was bad. Drugs and alcohol were everywhere. No one cared. You had to watch your back all the time because there weren't enough staff to manage us. And yes, as you'd imagine, there was a lot of... Some bad stuff went down there with some of the staff, okay? Not all of them, but the others knew, and they didn't stop it. And then Advance won the election. And like a miracle, things started to change. They got better. We had nicer food. The home was not just repaired, but redecorated and kitted out with books and sports stuff and musical instruments and video games. Most of the staff were fired, and the new ones, which there were more of, spent time talking and working with the bullies. And you know what? A second miracle. It worked. The bullying stopped. My life, got better. Because finally, there was enough money to do the good things, and Advance had the guts to do it. I joined Go-Getters, and on Liberation Night, that gave me a group of friends that I could talk with when the bombs went off and the power went out. Another miracle. I wasn't alone anymore. And that was the night I finally understood the importance of being in a team. So here's my final thought. I know the people who were doing better under the old system long to go back. You say, we were freer, but what you mean is, we were richer. But for every one of you, there is 100 of me. And even now, after all you've had taken away, you are still doing better than I am, than I likely ever will. You still have homes of your own and families of your own who love you. And I'll never have that. So maybe you should stop looking for the worst interpretation of everything this amazing government does and realise it's not for you. It's for the millions like me. And you can cry and bleat all you want, but you're never going to get your money back because it's already been spent on miracles.
Wow, thank you.
Stand by. Stand by.
Let's keep making tomorrow better.
And we're out.
Is that all right?
Yes. Yes, that was more than all right.
Nicely done. I think you might have actually given them something to think about.
So I guess you're going to be taking me back to the home now then?
I was thinking we could go out somewhere and, I don't know, have a meal, talk about our options, if that's okay.
Of course, Miss Wolf. Security will be standing by.
Thank you.
So they're always there then?
There was a thing a few years ago now.
Oh, with that Jeremy bloke?
I'm glad that we have an
Oh,
actual
everyone
person
did.
from the UK in our chat because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
She's growing on me.
Yeah, she does that.
Broadcast complete. I'd say that was...
Congratulations.
Never mind. It
Wah.
wasn't pretty decent, actually.
Wah.
You have received a slight dock. God damn it! I tried that one. Well, I guess maybe not reacting with sound clips kind of pissed him off.
Yeah.
But I refuse. Let's see. You think it's maybe a good place to stop? It's like 3.5 hours. Man,
The whole stream.
I wonder how long there would be left in this
I
in a
don't
run.
think there's too much left. I think there's probably like 1 or 2 more streams or so.
Okay. If I weren't hungry, I could probably do those. But I think like next stream we could
Yeah,
probably
I'm a
tackle
little
that.
tired myself.
Yeah, Mint says we have like around 1 day left, I think. So like, yeah, we can do that and then start maybe going through it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's save and quit. Oh man, Jeremy. I'd give Jeremy a sandwich.
Good evening, I'm Megan Moore.
And I'm Jeremy Jones. I'll make it tonight.
Look, it would just put one on his grave.
Yeah.
Poor fuck.
Man.
Yeah, it's like, I think before playing this game, like, before you started playing this game, I was like, I think you'll like Jeremy.
You're right.
Because, to be honest, it's a little hard not to like Jeremy.
Yeah, it's like, definitely in that position.
But yeah, so like, if you actually do cut away before he shoots himself, he actually doesn't die in that scene. But if
Really?
you watch the rushes, yes, it's true. You can, that literally caused him not to die. But,
I could have saved Jeremy!
Yeah, you can.
No!
The only thing is, that's why I was saying, like, if you go watch the rushes, for some reason, like, you'll actually see him shoot himself in the rush, because that's, you know, the full video.
I see.
And then the game gets confused, and, like, some character will talk as if he's dead, and some character will not.
Oh.
We're only getting started.
Good evening, I'm Megan Moore.
Holy shit.
I'll make headlines tonight.
I wonder what would change. I mean, probably a lot would change that when with Jeremy still alive. He'd probably be arrested as shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's, like, they put him in jail, because, yeah, doing a live armed hostage situation of all your coworkers.
He kinda has people
kinda
at
does put you in
gunpoint.
jail.
Yeah. Oh, this game is fun.
You replayed it? I don't blame you. But yeah, there's like little things like that where it's like, yeah, they actually are impacted.
I see. I didn't know like it could alter fates like that just depending on what you show. That's pretty cool. Oh, that is pretty. That is interesting. That's a fun time.
Yeah, he doesn't really show up after, but like he's alive. So.
Yeah. He can still eat a sandwich.
Yeah, he can eat it. He can eat a sandwich in jail.
We're only getting started.
Oh. That is cool. That's really funny actually. Alan James can also die on that tower.
Alan James can die.
I thought he died actually. Like I thought he died in the when the place got sieged and you heard like cops from like the walkie-talkie. I thought he got shot. So I guess he lived. Ah, I see.
It's a very good game. Very
that
fun.
makes sense. It is very fun. I think this might end up being a very long series of streams because like there'll be a lot of replay. Just
Oh
like
god, there's a lot.
Yeah, I
yeah,
can't
so it's like possible to go like, you know, as you can imagine, this is like closer to the more like centrist route, but like you can go full advance, you can go full disrupt.
I see. Well, you do DLC. Do they have the DLC? Do you have the DLC?
Yeah, because I think this is done over library share. There was like one DLC option thingy that was like already there. So there's that, but I mean, either way, this is a good game, so I'd be willing to go buy the DLC.
I can pitch in with that. Hold up, I need to find something real quick. This is very important. Hold up, I have the perfect idea for a good stream end card. I realize I have this.
You should put like a little obituary portrait of Jeremy eating a sandwich.
Oh, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Oh my god.
Hold up, where is this?
Oh boy.
Hold up. I'm gonna swap the end card and I'm gonna add something.
Oh my god.
Steve Mint. I realized there's 2 screenshots that show up on my Steam library, and it's Jeremy with the fucking sandwich.
Yummy.
Yummy. Hold on. Let me. Look how excited. Look how happy he is to eat a fucking sandwich.
It's like a big Scooby-Doo ass sandwich too.
Yeah. It's a sandwich you see Shaggy make on the show.
No, for real. He's got a little toothpick with the olive in his lavish apartment. This wonderful fireplace.
I always thought it looked a little messy, but like, you know, that's charming.
Yeah, it looks lived in.
Mm-hmm. And he was, you know, alive and he could live in things, in places.
Yeah.
I don't know the years. Wait, no, we do know the years when Jeremy was alive, yeah? Because he had on his grave. Right? Yeah, his grave had like years on it, I think, right?
Armin from Scarlet and Violet making a sandwich for his dying dog. Yeah.
I know that.
That's what Megan should have done for him.
Make a sandwich for your dead friend, Jeremy. Your dead coworker, Jeremy.
Yeah. Just send him off. The one thing that made him happy.
Hold on. There we go. Children of the City playing in the background as he fucking misses. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Roland and how about Papa?
Oh my god, you're right.
The thing is, like, with this grayed out, he's wearing Roland's fit.
He really does look like Roland too in this picture.
I know a fucking edit. I know what edit I have to do now.
Oh my god, the picture you said on Twitter is really good.
Which one? Hold on, let me see. Wait, where is this?
On Twitter. I'll send it separately.
Yeah, I sent in the let's see.
It's a really good picture.
He even like in this one, he looks like he's just wearing Roland's fit.
He really does have the Roland look about him.
He does. The hair is also like it was like parted, like it was it covered more of his forehead. He just looked like Roland. He looked like British Roland.
Yeah, no, he would kill at a Roland cosplay.
True. I wonder if I can like message the actor and tell him this.
Oh my god.
It's like, hey dude, we we can send him
He's
the
got,
edit.
like, a stray hair.
Yeah.
Quite anime.
Hold on. Let me.
They should have played Guardian Angels at Jeremy's funeral.
You know what? You know what? You know what? We can change that. We can make that happen now.
Oh my god.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. We have met here today to say our farewells to Jeremy, who shot himself in London. He never got to eat his sandwich. Stupid. This is fucking stupid. Anyway, thanks for stopping by stream. I don't have to like fly out to the city again for any jobs, so I can do this next week if you're free.
Oh yeah, I'm free.
Awesome. Clipping? Thank you. Alright. See you around the same time next week.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. Any last words you want to say to Streamwolf? You get full say.
None in particular. I guess what's like a suitable substitution to like that one meme of like Roland saying like you must feel as jolly as me or whatever.
You must feel as hungry as I am.